T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kop-ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-ish.
Hello, lovely people. I hope you're well and welcome to Rival Watch and Kop-ish Calling. We are Kop-ish. Hope you're well. Drift, how you doing, bro?
Still rough, bro, but I'm powering through, you know what I mean? So people then bear with me today.
I hear you. I see a lot of the comments talking about Klopp's press conference earlier. Some good talking points from it. It'll be very interesting to get everyone's thoughts and opinions on that as the show goes on. Obviously, Virgil signed a new contract, which is massive news as well. Really happy about that. But we are going to look at our rivals so far for this season and see what predictions we are going to do for game at week 1. The Premier League kicks off this evening. Arsenal versus Brentford. The Drift. Brentford, Arsenal. No Aubameyang, no Lacazette. Is going to be more banter.
I was talking to a couple of my Arsenal boys today. Shout out if they get to see the show, they know who they are. They don't even care. Like, a couple of them are like, maybe it's for the best. Aubameyang's not even been on form for 18 months or 12 months at least. Lacazette, they won out the club. I don't actually think it matters. Them man are talking about they should be playing like Martinez and what's the other guy that we nearly bought? That good young guy they've got. That is it? Begins with a B. They've got one guy who nearly bought him.
Balogun. So Marque, shout out to Marque. Balogun starts according to the Beautiful Game podcast. Shout out to the Beautiful Game
Balogun
podcast as well, doing some great stuff.
Yeah. So they're saying, you know what, give the youngsters a go because the other two haven't been performing for them anyway. I mean, I know Aubameyang's the captain, but yeah, he's been so out of form that it kind of looks to me like either his head isn't in it, or maybe he is just at 32, 33 years old. He's just on a natural wind down now that this is just him now, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think with Aubameyang, I think he signed a contract when he should have left, in my opinion. I don't think he should have stayed at Arsenal. And but I don't even think it's necessarily a decline because as a footballer overall, he's never been amazing as a footballer, but what he does give you is deadly finishing and being in the right place at the right time. He can't do that when he's playing from the left wing, in my opinion. Not in an Arsenal setup. He could potentially do it in a Liverpool setup and a Man City setup because we are so front foot as a team. Like we are the team that initiates. But when you're playing in an Arteta system whereby you don't initiate and you're having to start from so far back to start your counter-attacks or start your attacks, and then as well as the defending, it's just never going to work for him on that left flank. If they were to go and get number 10, like again, they're looking at Odegaard and Maddison, and Lacazette doesn't play, and it's Aubameyang through the middle, and they play two out-and-out wingers, I think Aubameyang starts netting goals again. But until that happens, we're going to see more of the same, unfortunately.
I said it at the time, and I think a lot of people thought I was hating, but I could genuinely see it. When Arsenal won the FA Cup, it was the most predictable footballer I've ever seen in my life, but nobody had figured it out because it was all new, because Arteta had only just taken over. It was play around at the back a little bit and take some risks. Don't get caught out. and then hit a long diagonal to the left. Aubameyang made a run, cut inside, scored. They won them the FA Cup, so you couldn't even really say nothing.
And the
He
Community
wasn't
Shield.
able-
But they
he
didn't
wasn't-
play. They didn't play brilliant in those games.
No,
That's
they didn't.
that's-
They actually should have
didn't.
lost both of those games, especially the Chelsea one. I think Pulisic doesn't pull his hamstring. Chelsea win the game.
But even
So-
the game against us, bro, like in the Community Shield, we had them penned in for a large portion of that game, and it's like,
Yeah. So I mean, at that time, Aubameyang probably felt on top of the world. He just won the FA Cup, won his first trophy. I think it's only the second trophy he's won in his whole career, which is really sad for a striker of his ability. And he got a bit carried away when he saw the 350 plus. He thought it would work, and then teams just figured out, hold on, let's just stop Aubameyang and let's stop this cross-field ball thing. And then all of a sudden, Arsenal couldn't really get Aubameyang into the game
do
anymore.
anything.
And then once you're not getting Aubameyang in the game, how are you gonna? That's why Saka was a revelation, because he played on the other side, and he was able to start stretching teams on that side, and it opened things up a bit. But either people might figure out Saka if they continue to keep doing what they were doing with Aubameyang. where they-
no, I won't figure out Saka. Saka's special.
Well, I wouldn't call him special. I think he's a very, very good young talent.
I would love Saka. You see with this
No,
whole
no,
homegrown.
Special though. I mean, special makes you like.
Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, I've gone overboard with just using the word special. I've gone overboard there. I use that flippantly, so my bad. But what I will say is, you see, like we're chasing home. We need homegrown players in our team, and we need top homegrown players. City have just bought a top homegrown player in Grealish, and it looks as though they'll get Kane over the line before the end of the window. Man United went and got Sancho, another top homegrown player. Saka's a homegrown player I would love to see at Liverpool. Not because he's English, because he's homegrown. I think he's quality, and he would do wonders in this Klopp team. He can play from the left, he can play from the right, he can play left back. I mean, I might be slightly backtracking, Drift, but a lot of people say Foden's special. I think Saka was just as good as Foden last season in a much, much worse team.
Performance-wise, we got a point.
In
How I
a
see
much
his
worse
career
team.
going? All right, at this moment in time, the trajectory of his career, how it's been, and whatnot. So far, anyone who's played around about a year or 2 years worth of football under 20, the only one I would call special is Bellingham. And that's just based on how I feel his career will be for the long haul, if you get what I mean.
I mean,
in maybe 4 or
you're
5
right.
years, there's a big possibility Saka won't be spoken about anymore.
You could,
I'm not saying
you could say even though he plays for us, maybe you're being a bit biased, Harvey Elliott could be put in that special category potentially.
Not yet. We
Oh,
can't.
not yet, but I said potentially, but definitely not.
Oh, what
not
you
right
mean
now.
in
Oh,
terms
not
of
right
4 or
now.
5
Yeah,
years' time?
yeah.
Oh yeah. 4 or 5 years time. Yeah. And I think that's why I'll call Foden special over Saka, because I think in 4 or 5 years time, Foden's going to be on another level.
That's fair.
At the moment, I've still got to see whether I think Saka will go on to another level.
That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair. Like, if we couldn't get Neto, the next player I'd want is Saka. But I know Saka's just not attainable for the money that Arsenal would want. The fact he signed a new contract, I just know that wouldn't happen. But I'm a massive fan of Saka. But onto the game then. Brentford Arsenal. Tony's coming up from the Championship and broke records in the Championship. Brentford do play a good style of football. Can they upset Arsenal though?
Can they? Yes. Will they? No.
So
But
what
then
score are you
again,
going for?
a draw is probably still an upset. So maybe that hype. Sorry, pardon me, guys. That hype of being at home, first game in the Prem, a little bit like what I'm worried about Norwich maybe just being so amped up being at home in their first game back in the Premier League, and the momentum maybe getting them to a draw in the game. Possibly. Not beat them. Brentford won't win this game, but a draw will still be considered an upset as far as Arsenal are concerned. So, yeah, I guess you could say they could upset them.
So what are you saying then for the score?
I think the score will be 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. I'm actually going to go with a 2-1 Arsenal as well. I do think they'll get over the line in this game, but I don't think it'll be pretty. I don't think it'll be pretty at all. Shout out to Daily Smith for the first super chat of the show. Are you aware Chelsea are already looking at Bellingham? It doesn't surprise me.
They want everyone we want. That doesn't surprise me at all, Daily. Doesn't
Doesn't
surprise me.
surprise me. And look, Chelsea would be stupid not to be looking at Bellingham. Any top team would be stupid not to be looking at Bellingham. So them looking at Bellingham doesn't mean anything. That's like us saying we're looking at Haaland. We know we ain't getting Haaland, but we damn well are looking at him because we know he's a fantastic talent. So I don't think that's anything.
Brother and make it a family affair.
Yeah, you could look at that. You could look
Have
at
you seen
that
his
too.
little brother? He's a
Yes.
spitting image of him, bro.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Spitting image.
Both-
If you've got a younger
both got
brother
the same
there,
haircut and everything.
yeah,
Both
bro.
got
If
the
you've got
same
the
haircut
younger
and
brother there, that means the parents will be used to come in. That means everybody will be there, family affair. They know the warm embrace of that Klopp hug. And then it just be like, yo, big bro, I'm not even going to lie, bro. It's this shit here.
Nice dream
And then his
stuff.
brother will be like, yeah, let's go do a Neville thing or a divorce thing.
Or even a Wright Phillips team as well. Yaya and Colo.
Team.
Yeah, Sean Wright. It was Bradley Wright Phillips that brought Sean through.
What, to Man City?
Yeah.
Oh, don't lie.
I'm not even like, Bradley was seen as the more talented footballer out of the two at first.
No, but I don't remember them both being at City at the same time.
Yeah, they're both at City.
Oh,
And obviously the Toure brothers both ended up at City together.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was going to say Arsenal. I was going to say
No. They should have ended up at Arsenal together.
Yeah, but they didn't think Yaya was good enough.
Silly Arsenal. All right, next game. Clash of Derby game. Manchester United versus Leeds.
2-0 Man U, I think. I think Leeds will be a bit stoked to be new season and all that. It's at Old Trafford though, isn't it?
It is at Old Trafford.
Yeah, Man United 2-0. I'm yet to be convinced by Leeds' defending in the bigger games. I think they're going to win a lot of their mid-table and lower table games. But the big teams, I'm still going to have to see whether they've improved on their defending.
You say that though, but towards the end of in fact, after the first round of games, Bielsa kind of changed how they set up against the bigger teams. And you remember they drew 0-0 with United. They only conceded the one against us. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't concede many against Arsenal, Tottenham as well. Like they have actually changed the way they play and they adapted, and that is a Bielsa trait. Bielsa don't really make the same mistake twice. So I'm torn on this one.
I know this is being very ignorant. So apologies, Leeds fans. But have Leeds made any improvements to the squad? I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. Junior Firpo for a start.
Who, sorry?
Junior Firpo from Barcelona, left back. He can also play defensive midfield. They've obviously signed Harrison on a permanent deal as well.
Is that it though?
Off the top of my head, they may have signed a couple of other players, but Leeds are good, man.
No, I'm not saying they're not.
Kept Rafinha as well.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, have they made enough improvements to be better than they were last season? And last season was like, okay. So I'm a bit unsure how I think Leeds this season will go this year. I thought they might have made enough improvements to push for Europe. But at the moment, I'm thinking just mid-table again.
Fair dude. So what you saying? 2-0 United, you're saying, yeah? Matt, I know you just come in, bro, but can you quickly give me a prediction for Brentford Arsenal?
Arsenal 1-0.
Cool. Arsenal 1-0. And then what are you saying for Man United Leeds, bro?
Man United 2-1.
2-1. I'm going to go 3-1 United on this game. United usually start the season well, especially when they're at Old Trafford. They usually have big games at Old Trafford for the first game of the season, especially back in front of fans as well. Like, I think the signing of Sancho, obviously Varane as well, I think there'll be a different outfit this season. I think they'll put in a good performance. I actually think they'll win quite comfortably.
Definitely.
Sorry, pal, I think your mic might be rubbing on your top. Like when you turn your head, I keep hearing like a rub.
Apologies. How's that now?
Move your head. Yeah, it's good.
Gonna be shaking my locks like I'm Bob Marley out here. Next game, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace.
Well, what Crystal Palace are going to show up? Is it going to be the invincible version with their invincible manager? Or is it going to be same old, isn't it? I don't know.
Them Arsenal digs there, you know.
I can't believe it's 17 years after the fact. No, 18 years after the fact, and I still hear that. That like, geez, man, it's literally like if every single time you spoke to a Liverpool fan, they just mentioned Istanbul. Like it'd be like, all right, man, give it a break, man. Jeez.
Yeah. To be fair though, Drift, that was us for a little while still.
Yeah, maybe about 5 years, but not 18 years later. Though.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
You know what I
Fair.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you can talk about it for 4 or 5 years, yeah, but like 18 years later, I mean,
It's true. That's true. So what are we saying then? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go over. I'm going with a 4-0 to Chelsea.
3-0 Chelsea.
when them have been born, done their GCSEs and are in college, you know.
3-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Chelsea over 2.5 goals.
You're saying 3-0 then, yeah?
3, 4, 5.
Goals,
Like, you're doing the accumulator, you just do over under. Like, I'm just going Chelsea over 2.5 goals.
Yeah.
Lukaku's not allowed to play, by the way, for anyone who thinks he'll be in the game.
Oh, is he not?
No, he didn't get registered in
registered?
time, innit?
Oh, okay. I'll change to.
So it's following week. You can play week 2.
I'm gonna change to 2-0 then.
They're still gonna wrap. They're gonna wrap up Palace.
There's a part of me that not based on his ability, but just based on how shit just always seems to go. I think Werner's going to be the one who's more dangerous this season than Lukaku for some reason.
If they're playing a 2, I agree. Because Lukaku will be the one who occupies, and then Werner will get more space.
I think Kai Havertz can have a good season. You know, I hate to say it, but I think
he probably will. He probably will.
Kai Havertz is going to be. I think he might be their player of the season.
Potentially.
Player of the season, did you say?
Player of their season. Yeah, players. Yeah, for Chelsea.
Leicester versus Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh, Leicester got this.
1-0 Leicester.
Leicester got this. 2-1 actually. 2-1. 2-1 Leicester.
What are you saying, Jeff?
They should get 2 goals.
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
I'm going with 3-1 to Leicester.
Is there a strong argument Wolves might get relegated?
No, I don't think so.
No, it shouldn't do. I mean,
it's never a Neto goal, which there's a lot of rumblings about. They've already lost Nuno as well, so the new manager
who's the Neto rumblings to?
I haven't heard who the team is, but I've heard that not necessarily financially like they're broke or anything, but apparently they're considering Neto and Neves going and then bringing in some like new talent and having a bit of like kitty money.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm saying it live as well. If Neto leaves Wolves and it's not to Liverpool, I'm gonna be in a bad way. You know, I'm not even gonna front with you. Like, I'm gonna be in a bad. Like seeing
there's been
Sancho go to United, seeing Varane go to United, and then seeing Neto go to somewhere else. That's gonna hurt a lot.
He might be abroad. You never know.
Probably, if your wife leaves you and goes to live abroad, bro, you're still gonna feel the pain in it. Like,
but not like if she gets with a man that lives on the same road, bro.
No, that's true. But at least you can try and fight for it, innit?
Fight him, you mean?
Yeah, you're both in it.
When I fight over a woman, bro.
Oh boy. Obviously we've done our score predictions for Liverpool, Norwich, Spurs, City. It's a big game of the weekend.
Is Harry Kane gonna play?
I hope so.
He has to.
He has to.
He won't play. Some people are saying that he deliberately came back late so that his excuse for not playing in the game was he's not up to speed.
Doesn't want to take away 3 points from his new team already, you know.
Isn't it?
It's
It was different when Ox played against us because Ox knew we'd beat them. Actually, no, I guess he knows that Tottenham can't beat Man City either. So yeah,
Ox played against us.
Yeah, but he knew we'd win, so he wasn't scared that his team would take points off us. That's what I mean.
I'm gonna be real. I need to see Kane play. I
What
need
if
to
Kane,
see it.
you look, check the scenario. Kane plays, yeah.
Mm.
88th minute, a ball is whipped in from a Man City corner. Kane goes up at the near post to clear it, but really flicks it on. Back stick, it goes straight in. Harry Kane's own goal, Man City 1-0.
You mean what Gerrard did in the Carling Cup final against Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And then Man City submit the bid.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
That would just be.
Oh my God!
I'll be honest.
Would Harry Kane be getting investigated for match fixing? Seriously,
probably.
But I think Levy breaks his legs.
On camera.
Yeah. Levy ain't a guy to really play them games with. I'm not gonna lie.
Levy will be like, "See you right there, yeah. This was supposed to be for the documentary. Furthermore, we're going live. Bust his legs. Imagine that. We're going live. Bust his legs.
Mods, if you're there, please, mods, could we get the spammers out of there, please?
All right, do you know what? Just quickly before we you lot might not want to hear this yet, but I'm going to tell you anyway because this is what we do, and it's the first game of the season.
This is so harsh.
This is going to sound a bit random, but here I'm
so
landing.
Harsh, dreams.
I got a code from EA for FIFA 22. I'm sure people know about it, like the beta, yeah. So I tested it out last night. I couldn't really sleep, whatever, because obviously I'm mash up. So I was like, all right, let me test out this beta. So I said, I'm going to be Liverpool and play Norwich. So I played on Legendary because I normally play on Legendary if I play FIFA, right? Decent at it. Don't really need a lot of practice, but I'm all right. Bruv, Norwich tucked me in 3-1. And I was like, do you know what? It's because I haven't played FIFA for so long. Played them again. They beat me 2-0. I played them again. They beat me 1-0. I played them again. They finally beat them 4-0. Bro, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of scared about Norwich now. After because if they're trying to say this FIFA 22 beta is the real thing, then boy, Norwich, Cantwell and flipping Pookie are going to be on stuff. So, yeah, man.
The moral of the story.
Shout out all the FIFA heads out there.
Don't get out of practice with FIFA. I think is the message there. Like.
You're telling me, bro? Pookie was
or play eFootball instead.
Oh gosh, bro! I'd rather play FIFA. You know, it's so sad, so sad.
I'm calling it PES. I don't really care what anyone says.
I'll be honest. If I had the time, I'd really like to get back into Football Manager, but just like really dedicate time.
It's the time though. FIFA, you can kind of just because the better thing that they gave me is and I can't even talk because you have to be careful what you say. So I'll just say this: yeah, they gave me a code for kickoff and Ultimate Team, I think it is. But I'm only just gonna play kickoff, just test out the game, whatever. But anyone that's played FIFA 21, it is pretty much FIFA 21.5. Don't get me wrong, they've made enhancements. It's smoother. There's the game's slower. It plays better. Graphically, it's amazing. But yeah, just watch out for Pookie if you play on Legendary.
I said watch out for Pookie. You know.
Wait, who's this spam? You're getting out of it.
Come on, man. Yeah.
See you later. Bye.
Very, very silly, isn't it?
Yeah. Just chill,
all right.
man.
So Spurs City. I'm actually going to go 3-0 to Man City.
I'm going to go. No, I think I might be right. You know the reason I say Friedrich because they got the new centre back in. Is it Romero? And I'm just thinking, who's his partner?
Yeah, but first game and all that.
No, that's what I mean. So he's not going to be up to speed. And who's his partner? Was it Eric Dyer? Because they've lost Alderweireld.
Toby.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. They're getting I think they might get tucked in. But you know,
you know what? I think all jokes aside,
Kall said this last time when Tottenham beat them, didn't they?
One thing we know about Spurs, yeah, is that Spurs aren't a great team, and they've been declining for about maybe 12 to 18 months, right? But I have to give them credit, even though you do come away going, "Oh man, Spurs, what have you done?" They never get tucked in. I don't really remember ever watching Spurs get tucked in. So therefore, when I know they're going to lose, I always think by a goal or two. I never think, oh yeah, this is just going to be like murder. Like they're just going to get. Do you get what I mean? I mean, somebody can remind me or refresh my memory. But
Romero's injured.
Oh, is he already?
Yeah, I'm sticking to my prediction.
And apparently, Pau Torres has rejected Spurs as well, which is good.
Yeah, I heard that.
Wow.
Pau Torres is another quality player, man.
Wow.
I think we should. You know what? I think that we should actually, if we are going to let Phillips go for 20 minutes,
Here comes the drifty.
We should go and get Torres, man.
What? Say that again.
So we're gonna let that go for around 15, and how much we gonna offer for Torres, bro?
I heard the offer that was accepted was 30.
Yeah, so where are we getting the extra 15 from?
Oh, brother, come on, we're not gonna do this. Like that's obvious. FSG just stopped being dickheads. Like that's obvious, bro. We've
got other positions to sort out though. Centre back is not even a priority.
You see the statement today? We got bills to pay, bro.
Yeah, I know, but no, obviously, I'm making a statement just based on how life should be. Do you get what I mean? If 30 mil is the truth of what was accepted, because I know he's old, he's about 30 now, right? But if 30 mil is what was accepted, I'm sorry. You actually just push Brighton for 20 for now. If you do want to let him go.
So who's fifth choice then, Drift? Who's fifth choice at Liverpool then?
I wouldn't really say we have a fifth choice. I'll say we've got 3 players we're worried about injuries with. Yeah. We've got a player we bought who hope to God he's over his injuries, but he's also a player that you slightly got to hope is all right. So I think it's just full rotation through all competitions.
That's never going to happen, bro.
It should, though.
But even from a homegrown standpoint, Drift, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but all of those technicalities I'm sick of now, man.
It's not a technicality, bro. It's a rule.
We've got so many players in the squad that aren't good enough that are the foreign players. That being the reason, it's never going to sit right with me.
Like, apart from Adrian, who?
Shaqiri, Origi.
No, but if you sell Shaqiri and Origi, you have to replace them with a centre midfielder and a forward or 2 forwards.
If he's not going to play Minamino, like there's players in the team that's like, yo, get them out then. If the
let me ask you like quick. You see the whole Shaqiri thing. Let me ask you like this quickly, yeah. You see, like if Shaqiri was to actually like get sold like last day of the window, whatever, and we don't replace him, do you not think Harvey Elliott is the guy, or do you think we should have still got someone anyway? Because one thing I think we kind of not forget or we get mixed up in is that we always want that youngster to break through. He's on the verge of kind of breaking through. But then I suppose if we get another player to replace Shaqiri, does he take away, Harvey Elliott's minutes? I was thinking about it today and I was like, it's kind of true. Like, because here's the thing. We could loan him out, say, to Borussia Dortmund, who are the best at getting people and just making them amazing when they're young. So we could loan him out. But then are we missing the trick? Should we just have him in there now? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I do get where you're coming from.
But he's not ready.
You don't think he's ready?
He's good enough, but he's not ready.
All right, so let me ask you this. If he's not ready, which I think he's ready, but not ready like week in, week out. Because I was thinking, why can't we do what a Foden did? Like what Man City did with Foden, innit?
Yeah, that's but they did it before Silva.
They eased him in. No, but they
did it before Silva left. They didn't wait till Silva left. And then that was the first time he'd ever played with the first team. He was there for 2 years in the background, floating around, getting used to it all. So that was...
That's my point I was going to say as well. I think everyone keeps on saying, if we bring in a fifth attacker, how's the minutes going to be spread around? The idea of bringing in these players means that you play more games across all 4 of the competitions. So, and again, I think we've got so trapped in the notion of thinking, right, it's just Premier League and Champions League. If we have a big squad, how are all these players going to get their minutes? But if you go far in the Champions League, if you go far in the FA Cup, you go far in the League Cup, the Premier League is 38 games, whichever way you look at it, then these players will get minutes. And I think that's the way we need to start looking at it. We need to have competition in every position, and we can start taking other competitions more seriously. Like, let's just say our FA Cup team, for example. Let's say we were to get Neto and Vlahovic. Let's say we got those 2 players in, yeah? Our FA Cup team goes from being okay to very good.
No, do you know what? You're 100% right. But do you know one thing else that I was thinking about as well that we kind of get caught up in? Expanding the squad is always amazing. Like, who wouldn't want to, right? But you know when we say like, oh, like the FA Cup and Carling Cup, which is true, they can play in those games. I think sometimes we think if we get that player, like we just kind of shoehorn them to that squad. Like, you know, like how we're saying like how, I don't know, say we got in those 2 players, right? And then we're like, oh, that means Harvey Elliott, he'll just like, I notice we do it a lot. We always say things like, well, Harvey Elliott, he can just play like Carling Cup games and thingy games. We got to understand something. They're all top professionals. They're all going to want to play in the Premier League and the Champions League. That is the reality of it. And I think
Facts.
the hardest part is getting someone to be like, listen, you might have to play in Carling Cup games, you know. If you work hard enough, you can play in the Prem and the Champions League.
That's what I was just going to say to you.
Yeah,
when Jota was brought in, when Jota was brought in, everyone said that's a good backup.
100.
Now, before the season starts, we're all talking about Jota saying he should be starting.
Yeah, 100.
That's what we need. We need players who come in with that mentality. And dare I say it, and I hate to compare us to City and Chelsea and all these other teams, but City have no problems getting in Nathan Ake, for example.
That's true.
Chelsea had no problems getting in other players. Man United have had no problem getting in other players. Dare I say, even Arsenal haven't had problems getting in certain players in certain positions. You have to, like, when it comes to selling a project, I don't think there's anyone better than Klopp and Edwards to sell a project to a player. Like we got Thiago. Thiago turned his back on every other club in Europe and said, no, I only want to play for Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk turned his back on Manchester City and Chelsea, who were way more dominant than we were before we signed Virgil van Dijk, and he turned up. Alisson Becker was wanted by Chelsea. Chelsea needed a goalkeeper because they were either on the fringe of losing, and Real Madrid. They were about to lose Courtois. We turned his head. Fabinho, Man United were dead certain to get him. Man United fans were like, yeah, we're getting Fabinho, sort out our midfield. We got him. So when it comes to selling a project, Klopp and Edwards do this. And they're not just selling dreams, they're selling a project. And the project has come to fruition a lot of the time. So I don't even think it's a case of we can't encourage these players to come to Liverpool. Like, we are Liverpool Football Club. We can. We can't. Sorry to cut you, mate. We can't get on this headspace of we're only going to be focused on Champions League and Premier League. And dare I say it, us as fans are to blame as well. We look down our nose at these competitions. We shouldn't be looking our nose down at these competitions. If there's one thing Fergie did very well, it's if you don't win the Champions League or the Premier League, you make sure you pick up another trophy. Keep that winning mentality going. Make sure you're playing in finals. Make sure you're playing in high pressure games.
So guys, just speaking of Man United, for all the people who were saying about the Elliott thing, which again, I kind of do get the logic, but look at Man United right now, who've got what they consider the best talent to come through their academy for about 20 years, which is Greenwood, but they don't care if they buy other players and he goes down the pecking order. It's not because they don't want to see him come through, because they know winning ain't about making him the only player who you rely on. See, you know what I mean? So
no, what you're saying is true, because again, it opens up the bigger debate, and which we'll get into FSG in and out, because I won't go into it now, but we've all seen it, like what Klopp said today. And I can't even lie, I just kind of feel like Klopp is that brother from Get Out, and he's trying to warn next man, don't.
I'm going to open myself up to the firing line here.
Because
I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah,
Klopp needs to get some of this heat as well. If we don't sign anyone before the end of the window, Klopp and Edwards need to get some heat as well.
All right, let's just say we give Klopp the heat, because we kind of feel like he can have
not all of it. By the way.
No. All
but right, him and Edwards deserve heat as well.
No, I would say. All right, here's the thing. He's the manager.
Sorry to cut you, Matt. Last time I cut you. This is how I break it down. Yeah, we're all 3 kids living in the house, and our mum and dad say, don't break that vase over there. Yeah. We're all playing football in the front room with a glass vase on the table. I might be the one who kicks the vase at the table, but we're all playing football. Yeah. So even though I get the biggest beating, you two are going to get lashed as well in it, because all 3 of us were playing football and we shouldn't have been. So, and that's where I'm sitting with it now. Klopp and Edwards, if we don't sign anyone, they need to take some heat as well. FSG take the majority, but Klopp and Edwards do not get away with it either.
If Klopp gets anything, we're talking like 5%. I'll tell you why. The only thing he could have done differently is throw them under the bus, though. But that's all he can do. All he can do is throw them under the bus.
You can put enough pressure on them to make them realize, regardless of whatever you're doing, I get it. But guys, I need more. because I'm still the manager, and regardless of whatever my owners tell me, I can still say, do you get what I mean? Like, you've been a manager yourself, Matt. If they told you at Christmas that you could only have 2 members of staff, you wouldn't be like, okay. You'd be like, no, that's not going to work. I'm sorry. And if you need me to do this job properly, you're going to have to give me a bigger budget that can get me more staff. And you would argue with them till they gave you more staff. You wouldn't just go into Christmas and have 2 members of staff, bro.
No, I hear that, but the difference is, though, one thing we don't know, and this is to both of you as well, yeah? We don't know what Klopp is doing behind the scenes, because, you know, behind the scenes, he could be really aggy. But to camera, he's just like, you know, I'm just going to just do this for whatever sake, because if I do it on camera, it's going to open up a whole kind of worms. Players are going to get unhappy. Like, people, basically, it's just going to cause a whole massive storm that they don't want to be publicized.
Yeah,
now,
I'm not talking about publicly bad.
No. But what I'm saying
you're
is
not going to shout at you're not going to shout at your superiors on the shop floor.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. How do we not know that Jurgen Klopp behind the scenes is really pushing FSG to make those signings, but it's not happening? And if he's doing that, if he is actually doing that, by the way, obviously there's no guarantees. Why would he then get the blame then if he's doing that? Because what more can he do other than pressurize them? On a real note,
I hear what you're saying, Matt, but this is why I don't maintain that for this. Because in January, when we needed a centre back, Klopp wasn't coming out and obviously disrespecting the owners or saying they're not telling me I can have this, but he made it very clear he wanted a centre back. The whole world knew he wanted a centre back, and the restraints weren't from his side. When the Super League thing came out, the whole world knew Klopp wasn't on board with it. He didn't cuss the owners out or didn't do a Mourinho, but he made it very clear. Klopp is not stupid. If Klopp's not happy about something or he doesn't accept something, he will say it. He'll find a way of saying it, but he'll say it in a way where we know how to read between the lines.
Yeah, 100%.
Klopp to me right now seems as though he... I'm not saying he's a yes man.
Kall, keep it real, bro. He's seen Virgil back and he's gassed.
No, I'm not even going that. I don't agree with that. No, but shall I tell you what I'm sensing here? I'm sensing a little bit of Wenger, a little bit of Wenger in him, in the sense of when Wenger was seen as being the bad guy at Arsenal, time has shown it wasn't just him. But he was loyal to certain players and loyal to certain things that he shouldn't have been, which ended up being detrimental to the club. I'm starting to see a few signs of that in Klopp, which I'm not liking.
All right, let me ask you like this then. So when a man says other clubs, when they're able to spend, they spend massively, and then he goes, we have to do things differently. We know how we are run. We have to earn money and then spend it. Bro, I'm not trying to be funny. There's 2 ways you can look at that. There's a way you can look at it and go, right, this man's just basically that cool with the whole thing and he seems calm with it. Or he's saying, this is what we have to do and I'm sick and tired of it. Because, bruv, how many times has you got to say in a sentence, we earn money and then we spend it. We got bills to pay. Bruv, I'm telling you from now, this is just how I see it anyway.
No, that's
I personally think he's a little fed up, and he keeps repeating the same thing, like, we got bills to pay, we got to sell players, and then we can buy them. You know how our model is. Like, he keeps on focusing on the model that I think. Sorry, I keep on cutting you. Sorry, Matt. No, go on. I was gonna say, go on.
But I was gonna say, shouldn't that fall on Edwards as much as FSG as well then? Because Edwards is meant to be the man selling players. Last season, we should have been selling, and I'm not even showing shade on any sort of players here. We should have sold Origi, we should have sold Shaqiri, we should have sold Wilson, we should have sold Grujic. We're struggling to sell these players now, and the fees we've got for those players this summer, we would have probably doubled the amount we brought in if we sold those players last summer.
We shouldn't even have to rely. Here's the thing.
We shouldn't. Obviously, that's why FSG still holds the greater portion of the blame. 100%. But if Edwards' job is to make sure you flip, like if I'm giving you the product, but I'm not giving you the purest of product, that's fair enough. That's on me. But if I'm still telling you to flip it, you got to flip it, innit?
100. Because I just think to myself, you know what? Is he really?
You're a runner. I'm stringing a bell.
Like, would you not sit there? Honestly, do you not think Klopp is what he said today? Do you think he's that happy when he has to talk about?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. There's a little part of me that kind of sees where Kall's coming from. I think as much as Klopp knows he does want reinforcements and he would love to be able to get them, I think knowing the position he's in, he's looking at how great Naby and Ox have looked in training. He's got big Verge back playing. He's on the pitch again. And I think he's kind of getting lost in the sauce a bit again. Klopp's a very like family type of, not even just in his, like in the football, he's a very family man. So when he's seeing these men performing and that, and everybody's doing well, and like I feel like he's like, yeah, we'll be all right, you know, fuck it, let's go. Come we do this. Look how good Ox is doing. Naby, this is why we bought Naby. Look at Naby. Look at Naby. Did you lot see the training with Naby and Thiago just in the middle, passing the ball back and forward? Like Naby's got the talent, so I think he's watching it. He's going, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna be all right. You know, I got my Joe back, I got my Verge back. Do you know what I mean? Like Matip's even back, rare.
Stupid though. He knows.
And I feel like he's getting lost a bit in the sauce,
I don't
man.
think. I
don't
disagree with
think
that.
he's getting lost in the
because if that was the case, we wouldn't have brought Konate.
He's not.
No, but obviously we needed a full centre back regardless, right?
But he could have turned around and said, "I'll keep him Phillips." Phillips has proved himself.
No. But I think obviously the fact that we bought Kabak and Ben Davies, like it was obvious in his thinking was, I need another centre back. Kabak didn't work, so I think it was pretty obvious he was always going to get a centre back if he could.
Klopp knows the model inside out, yeah. And I'm pretty sure he was told this when he came to Liverpool. But obviously, when you start winning things and gaining success, you probably think there's a bit more leeway. And he hasn't really had that leeway, and it kind of showed after the Champions League. And that's why I kind of feel like sometimes he can be passive aggressive. Like he can do that slick thing where it's like, so Jurgen, it's you're coming to the end of the transfer window. Are you going to buy any players? Well, you know our model. Our model is to sell players and we buy them. We're not going to just get players for the sake of it, are we? Like he says certain things that make me think.
That's true.
Like
That's
you
true.
know when.
Sorry, let me just read out the super chats,
Yeah,
Matt.
yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
come back to that. So 1975 Jamrock says everyone's assuming Klopp isn't satisfied with the squad. That's the point as well. We are speculating, so that has to be part of the speculation. Ahmed says, my guy is big up. Is the link up yet? The link will be up in a couple of minutes, literally. Just on that though, Matt. So again, I agree with what you're saying there, but in the same breath, he turned around during the conference today and he actually threw the question back at the journalist and said, well, what type of midfielder should we bring in? Because we've got Naby, who's creative. We've got Curtis and Harvey, that's creative. We've got Fabinho, who's the DM. We've got Henderson, Thiago. And again, with all due respect to the journalist, and I don't even want to sound disrespectful, I think three of us being there, being asked that question, we'd all come up with answers. Personally, I think the journalist was maybe caught a bit off guard.
He was.
But that to me says that Klopp is accepting what he has. Even though I do think we'll bring in a couple of players before the end of the window, that to me is suggesting he's accepting what he has.
See, do you know what as well? No, I think you're right. But I also feel like he's frustrated though. Because you see when someone asks you, oh, can you get this or whatever? And your response is, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to get this? Do you want me to get that? He's basically saying, I don't have the money to go and get what I really want. And again, maybe I'm interpreting. Because again,
he
it's how you
happy
look.
to me, you know, Matt. He don't sound.
No, not today.
Bro,
He didn't. Not
he
today.
Didn't seem happy.
I haven't seen today's one.
Yeah, he looked ratty today, bro.
Yeah,
like someone wee-weed in his tea, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And left the tea bag in there.
Listen to the daddy voice. Wee weed in the tea.
You know what? Because you said wee wee, I knew exactly.
Potty training at the moment, innit?
Yeah. You know, Kal's definitely got the clean already posted into the YouTube search for any music.
I literally have, bro. Little man saw me kick off when I was driving the other day, and now when we stop at traffic lights, he's screaming at the cars in front. So I've got to be careful what I say around him. Matt, you know how it goes, bro.
Come on.
I know for a fact you ain't listening to dirty grime music anymore, bro. It's clean lyrics now, bro.
100. And not only that, I had to delete YouTube like time ago. And just brother, he just got YouTube Kids on his tablet about YouTube.
Everything changes, bro.
YouTube Kids, and it stays like that.
Edward says, you're mad if you think Klopp is happy with the squad during his tenure. You have seen he's not picked up. You have not seen he is still not picked up that what he says in public does not convert to what he says things privately. Very true that as well. That is very true. He said Danny Ward journalists said Danny Ward was going to be number one and it was Alisson. Mario says, if my man Jurgen is happy with the squad, then who am I to question a great man? He's with those players every day and knows them inside out. Okay, I'm probably going to take a lot of flame for this. I do think we have a right to question Klopp because he's a human being.
That's
Like,
exactly what I was gonna
not
say.
saying our questions are going to be correct, not saying our answers are going to be correct, but I think we're allowed as paying fans to question a decision. He's a
Agreed.
human being. In the same way, you guys watch us. A lot of you contribute to the channel, whether it be financially or through other means of support. You have a right to question our opinions. We're all human beings. We can argue and
Yeah.
like question each other's opinions. So that notion of if Klopp's happy, we should be happy. I disagree to an extent. I think we can accept it, but we can always agree to disagree. In my opinion.
Yeah. I just think Klopp ain't happy, you know, and it's kind of not worrying, but it's a little bit like, right, they ask him about transfers, and he kind of just, I wouldn't say he goes into one, but it's just if you read between the lines or if you look at it in a different way, he's basically just keeps saying, this is our model, this is what we got to do, we got bills to play, we got to sell players before we buy players. It's like, it's how you want to perceive how he said it. That's that. You got to think of it like that. Don't just think of it of the words that the sentences that he's using. Look at how he's saying it. Like, I don't know, man.
Indeed. Right, people, we're going to open up the chat. Just going to read this last super chat before we do that. Massive shout out to Rack MK, says hi, Matt and Drifty. Massive shout out to Rack, as always.
Rack, man, big up.
Big up.
I think this puts it perfectly. By Red Jabby, questioning does not mean you do not support the team.
Yeah, that's so true. You're asking,
you know, before we go to the people, let me just ask you a quick thing or make a statement based on what we're just talking about. Are we, and I'm doing this in a devil's advocate way because I'm a part of this, so it's like I'm asking myself the question as well. Are we just, maybe the word rattled isn't right, but are we just rattled by what everyone else is doing? And it's almost making us more angry than we would normally be. And especially off the back of the injury-ravaged season that we had. Because if Liverpool was the only team you could look at, you couldn't see Chelsea news. Let's say we just lived in some weird world where you could never see the news of the other team. So you pick the team you support and nothing comes through on your phone apart from that team-related stuff. So you couldn't see Grealish, Lukaku, all this madness, Messi. You couldn't see any of this stuff going on around the world. Would you not also be happy with the Liverpool team when you're not considering the Varane and Sancho and all the other crap that we're being subjected to? Would you not kind of look at it and think to yourself, because the only reason I ask that is when I watch training, when I watch inside training on LFC TV, I'm not going to lie. I do sometimes have a moment and go, this squad is naughty, you know. This squad is naughty. Like, if we can avoid injuries, we can actually duppy this league. So are we getting too caught up in everybody else getting players, and is that why we're so annoyed?
Yes and no. So yes, because when you actually break it down, Man United have brought in two top quality players.
No, but bro, that's what I'm saying. So it is that's what that's what I'm going to get to.
That's what I'm going to get to. Chelsea have only brought in Lukaku, if I'm not mistaken, so far.
Well, we know Koundé's going, isn't it?
Well, it looks that way, but so far as things stand, they've only brought in one player. We've brought in one player. Manchester City have only brought in one player. So effectively, our biggest rivals, barring Manchester United, have bought the same quantity of players. Now, they spent more money, but we've addressed something we needed to address. Man United have addressed what they needed to address. City haven't really addressed anything. They've just added to what they've got, unless they're going to lose players. And Chelsea have addressed something that they've addressed, but just the others have just spent way more money than we have. So whichever way you want to look at that, whether we're being shrewd or they're doing what they need to do to get someone. But I think if you had asked any Liverpool fan going into the summer what we need, I think many Liverpool fans would have said you need three players. A centre-back is one of them, a wide forward and a centre midfielder. So, look, I'll say this for free here. If we go and get those positions sorted and they're good players, I think we win the league. But because I've just seen City go and add to what they've got without losing anyone right now, I think City are the team to beat. And I think that is the issue right now. I don't think, and look, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like I said it plain as day. I wanted Mbappe and I wanted Varane going into the summer. I'm just saying it straight. There's no point me lying. That's what I wanted. But deep down, I knew that weren't going to happen. Like, I also wanted to marry Jennifer Lopez when I was in secondary school, and that didn't happen. Shout out to my wife before I get in trouble, but you know how it is. This is what happens. But I think we're at
Not
a
even
point
deep
now.
down, Kal. It was just right here where you can tell you're gonna throw up. Like you knew we weren't getting no signing. You didn't have to get deep down, bro. You said Mbappe and Varane, and it only got to like there, bro.
Bro, yeah, you kind of knew it wasn't gonna happen.
You know what I mean? And it just came straight back up again, bro.
Man,
No,
the thing
but
was-
that's my point though. We knew we weren't going to get it, but we did expect us to do business, whether it be Jota type of business or whatever. We expect us to do business, and we've addressed a massive issue. Like when we now look at our centre back options, it's, in my opinion, the best 4 centre backs we've had in the club's probably the last 30 years as a 4.
Mm.
It's the best.
in
So
terms
we
of quality,
can't-
is
Yeah, we
agreed.
can't ever turn
It's the
that
best
away.
in the league, Kal.
Yeah.
People can front all they want. It's the best.
I agree.
four in the league.
I agree.
Everyone
So,
fit best in the league.
I think it's a bit of both, Drift. I think sometimes a fan base, we look at what others are doing, but at the same time, this is a competition, so you kind of have to look at what the fans are doing as well. So,
Right.
but you just can't go overboard with it. Sorry, I waffled a lot there. Sorry, but
I forgot what I was gonna say now. Basically, what you just said, yeah, but
a lot shorter.
yeah, basically. Yeah. No, all I was gonna say is this: Drift is right in terms of we do kind of watch face, but it's part of the game in terms of like you want to see what your competition's doing, and so you can analyze and compare. It's just part of it. But at the same time, you kind of just want to watch your own club and just be like focus on your own team. So I get that aspect, but we're all guilty of it. We can't help it if we get a little bit jealous, so to speak, if a team spends like 200 mil in the transfer window and we spend like 2 million on flipping a freeze, that we get a freebie and a tribunal. So I mean, it's kind of a bit like, well, we're Liverpool, and I think that's what it is. I think we kind of know as fans how big the club is, and the reason why there's a lot of people that are FSG out is because I fully agree with a lot of them
Tribunal.
when they say things like, yeah, bro, because come on, Harvey Elliott tribunal? I don't remember what the price was.
It was only 4 mil
You
to
got
be
a
fair,
free in the
which,
tribunal.
which is a steal. Harvey Elliott for 4 million is a
What are
steal.
you saying? A coupon and a court date.
A coupon and some food stamps.
But I'll be real with you. For me, it's never been about the money. It's about the players.
But again, no. But the thing is, it's like in today's world. When we say it's not about money, okay, you're kind of right, but you're kind of wrong. The reason we say that is because when you spend a certain amount of money, you get a certain amount of quality. It's like when people say, "Oh, I don't know. In this world, you can go to the library and go to the park for free." You actually can. But also, if you have some money, you can also go and get, go to a restaurant and go to X, Y, and Z and go to exhibitions and rare. So it's like, no one's saying you can't do things on a budget. No one's saying that, just like in life. But also in life, when you spend a certain amount of money, you can do a certain amount of things. And I think we can see everyone else getting money and they're going to flipping the Shard, they're going TGIs, and we're looking at food stamps. And not only that, we're returning things from Amazon and waiting for Amazon to send us back the money to go and buy the next set of headphones. That's what we're doing.
Shall I tell you why I disagree, Matt? Because
that's
no one speaks about Virgil's price.
And returning it after we've won it.
Kal, let me stop you right there. Actually,
go.
You see, Virgil was literally, we had the PS4, we shotted it to CEX, and then we flipping got we done a what do you call it? Not even a refund. We got the trade. We done a trade and we went and got the P5. So yes, the money was spent wisely. You spent it wisely because the value was there. You spent it wisely.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
But how many times can you keep selling things? Like
no, I hear that. But
sell,
for me, it's not about, like, you see how everyone's going crazy and saying Grealish cost 100 mil. I'm at a point where I don't really care. I don't care about fees. I care about the player we get in. So you see, we've just bought Konate for 36. I'm good with that. I don't need to spend 80 mil like Maguire to get a centre back and feel good about it.
No, we're not saying that.
Jota was 40 mil. But Thiago last season was the sign that made us all the most excited. He cost 25 mil. So for me, I don't want us spending money just for the sake of it. But we need to. No, but I hear you, Matt. But we need to spend it wisely.
We need to spend.
But yeah.
That's my whole point.
But
It's
just
not about,
but just not crazy. I don't want us to
Yeah.
go crazy for the sake of
bruv.
it.
Let's be realistic now. If we know, like, okay, so we didn't get Haaland, we didn't get Mbappe, we didn't get none of the, signings that we really wanted, yeah. But let's say, for example, Liverpool rocked up with at the beginning of the transfer window, Kanate, Neuhaus, and Marlon. I think we'll be actually kind of happy. I think we actually would be. We might sit
Probably.
there, come the end of the window, and go, "Oh, it's a good transfer window, isn't it? Oh, imagine if we got so and so as well, though. We would have done that, but we would have been happy, bruv. So far, we have brought in Ibu Kanate, who is an absolute bad boy, and that is it.
But there are still 18 days left of the window,
That is very true. So I'm expecting some movement.
and I think there will be two players.
I hate when people say that now, Cal. Do you know why? Because there's about 3 league games that get played in that time. So if you didn't care about getting the player in before the league started, it almost feels a little bit like you're ramping.
No, because sometimes you got to wait to see how the market settles, Drift.
Yeah, but bro, those 3 games, if you lose the league by 2 points and it was in the first 3 games, you drop those points, you look back and go, well, was it worth waiting around for a little penny pinching? Like, well, the way the league is now, you can't throw no points away, bro.
You say you never know, Drift. We'll never know. We'll never know.
No, but that's how I look at it. I feel like you should be always ready for the first game of the season. I think
it's impossible to be like that all the time.
Juicy of FSG and the club to go, oh, well, there's still this much time left in the window.
All right,
like,
so so I'm going to ask you then, Drift. If Man City secure Kane on the last day of the window, but they've used the first 2 out of their 3 games, have they done the same?
I still think they've ramped a bit, yeah, because if they lose the league to Chelsea by 2 points, you would say, well, City, why didn't you just give Tottenham the money before the season started? Why did you wait till then?
Because it doesn't work like that, bro.
No, I'm not saying it does work like that, but at the same time, it can work like that. Like, let's be real. If Man City pay 150 for Kane, they could always pay 150 for Kane. They were just trying to get a better deal. And at the end of the day, just do it. Like, you know what the deal is. You know what they're going to accept. Just do it.
Yeah, but we also heard that Bayern Munich wanted a certain amount from us for Thiago, and we waited a little bit, and
because we're tight. Kall,
that's not always about being tight, Drift. That you have to be shrewd in the market as well. You have
and
to.
At least we got Thiago in before the season started.
Well, we got him just after the first game.
He was a Liverpool player before the season started. He was just quality.
No, it's the second game.
He didn't play the first game, and then he played the second game against Chelsea.
Yeah. Fair dues. Well, look, let's read out the super chats and get the callers in. Abhishek says, I think to criticize Klopp last season was reasonable, but to criticize this season yet is not justifiable. Let's wait till Christmas and judge. Fair point as well. 1975 Jamrock says, when you lot spend a lot of money, you don't always get quality. That's facts as well. You only have to look at other clubs, how much they spent. You have to look at ourselves as well. But at the same time, if you pick the right player, usually it works out for you. In the same way, you bought Robbo for 8 mil. They bought Benjamin Mendy for 53 mil. I know which one I'd prefer to have in our squad right now.
100%. But it's about if you're good at identifying players, you should be good at in the transfer market. And let's be real.
And that's the frustration because we know we've got the players, the personnel to identify. The frustration.
Yeah. So
Rahul says, if we don't get any one anymore, and when AFCON starts, who would you like to see up front?
That's the problem. If they miss 3 or 4 games during AFCON, it cannot be Jota, Bobby, and Elliot, for example.
It would have to be
Jota, Bobby, and Minamino. It'll have to be.
I mean, it depends what game we're playing, whether we get through that or not.
Well, Crystal Palace, I think Brentford are the 2 games that they miss as things stand right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, effectively, that's actually bad because they're probably looking, we'll beat those.
Maybe. Right, we're going to bring in the callers. So, guys, we're going to give you a minute 30. Drift, do you have your other phone to do the countdown?
Yes. Do you want me to let the people know what they're getting today if they go over there?
Oh, you got say, yeah, go for it.
Don't show it. Don't show it. Actually, just give.
Don't show you what it. All right, let's leave it as a surprise then. I won't even look myself. All right, gonna bring in the first caller then. One of the regulars in the comments, but we're delighted to actually have him face to face here. Kev O'Sullivan, how you doing, bro?
Yes,
I'm
Kev.
really good, Kal. How are you getting on, lads? You all
Not too
good?
bad, brother. We're good, man. All the better
not
to
too
see
bad,
you
man.
here.
Right. Look, I've been listening now since you guys started tonight. I've been listening to you for the last few weeks. I'm really chilled and relaxed about this window. I honestly think that the window will come to clubs by the end. There's so much business to be done by clubs who are broke that we're in a very strong position. We're not looking for clubs. We're not looking for starting 11 players right now. We're looking to replace a fifth choice forward and a seventh choice midfielder. That's the reality. Plus, we have to shift too. That's also a fact, whether we like it or not. And the clubs that we're looking to sell to aren't exactly flush at the moment, as we've seen with Wilson going to Fulham, and we're giving up the first year's payment. So we're facilitating moves. I think people need to stop, relax, look at the squad, look at the actual squad, and compare it to the title-winning squad. We're in a very good place. We have a squad that's gelled, that know the system, know how to play together, and going forward, we do have a really good chance. FSG promised to put us in a position to challenge. That's what they've done. They've delivered that.
Can I rebuttal a few things there, Kev? You know,
Of course you can, my man. Of course you can.
Right. So I disagree in terms of starting 11. I think we need a replacement for Bobby.
Okay,
In
what
the
about
starting
Jota?
11. I don't want to see Jota as our centre forward if we can actually go out and get an actual centre forward. So, but as I say, that's probably the only position I'd say. So I agree with you on that. In terms of squad, I agree our squad is stronger than when we won the league, but also so are our rivals as well, and teams lower than that. So winning the league effectively could become a lot harder because your likes of Villa, Leeds, Man United, Chelsea, Man City, they're all stronger than they were when we won the league as well, even though we are.
Okay, can I just say something to you there?
Yeah.
When City fell apart and crumbled, they lost one centre-back. When Man United lost Harry Maguire last season, they fell apart. We have cover. Last season was an anomaly. It was weird. It was absolutely crazy what happened with, and everyone knew it. Now, you can't run a club and run anything thinking that you're going to have a catastrophe somewhere. You have a squad of 25 plus your under 21s. That's what everyone has to live with and live within. Now, for the majority of clubs, the majority of seasons, you're going to pick up injuries and knocks and suspensions and everything like that. But you hope that the four centre backs that you mentioned, the central three midfielders that we have at the club, are good enough to cope with four competitions. Now, Man City, you say, have improved. They brought in Jack Grealish and they might bring in Harry Kane. They've needed a centre forward for 2 years and they haven't done it yet. They've needed a starting centre forward for 2 years and they haven't done it yet. Aguero has not been Aguero for 2 years.
Yeah.
Jesus is not there. Is not going to win you a title. He'll be part of a club that wins a title, but he's not going to win you a title. Grealish adds to them, but is he better? Is Jack Grealish going to improve Man City to where they were when David Silva was in his pomp? Not really.
So I think they.
But
again, I'm probably biased because I rate Grealish really high.
Yeah, I rate him as well. But the thing is, you've got to fit. They play 4-3-3, same as everyone else. They can only play three. They have to play Rodri, De Bruyne +1. They're going to play two wide forwards. They've got Ferran Torres, Raheem Sterling +1.
But Grealish can also play one of those positions as well.
But that's it. So they're going to bring in Harry Kane. They're still going to have to sell 4 or 5 players. Laporte wants out. Bernardo Silva wants out. Mahrez wants out.
That's what I'm interested to see.
Yeah. I agree.
If they sell, then we've got to talk.
When they had David Silva, they was on another level. I agree with Kev on that. Grealish won't be as good as David Silva. No,
he won't be. He won't be.
I think they're different players. I don't think he'll ever get to be as good, but they're different players. He may get you more goals.
Chelsea brought in Lukaku. Yeah. No, I think Chelsea bring in Lukaku is a phenomenal signing.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Kev.
That was so sporadic the way that just cut out.
It was still. It was.
All right, we're gonna bring in the next person. Jiff, have you got the timer ready?
I have indeed.
All right, so 1 minute 30, guys, from the moment you get in, and then we're gonna go from there. The only reason
The
that went slightly
camera
longer.
needs the link, Kall. If you could just put it up again, because some people aren't getting the link, bro.
Cool.
We should use that timer for about T-minus 59 seconds. Or we should use that one as the timer, bro. We need to get that one.
No, I'm not gonna lie. That'll put man off like man's in the bomb squad. You know, where you're like,
in it, man's that is. T-minus.
Ronald Green.
All right, so Jiff, you ready to start it?
Yeah.
All right, next caller. Dean, how you doing, bro?
Legends, how you doing, guys? You good
Not
today?
too
Yeah,
bad,
Steve,
bro.
what's going on, bro? You right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while, bro. It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
has. Yeah, it's been
Good
for
to see
about
you
what,
again,
a couple of weeks now. Yeah, I hope you're good, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Am I supposed to ask questions, right? What am I supposed to do? Like, is it
The
asking
floor is
questions?
yours, bro.
The floor is yours. As long as you don't go over your 1 minute 30, the floor is yours.
It's 1:10 already,
So it's
bro. We're counting down.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you guys, right? Do you really think whoever wants to reply to the question, do you really think Jones is better than Claxton and Woodburn? Do you really think? I mean, if you think he's better than those two, tell me what what he's really good at. Curtis Jones, because I don't actually know. I don't know what he's good at. What is like best trait? What his best trait is, and also. There are two players that I'm looking at, and I love watching those two players. I knew about them even before the Euros. There's Chiesa and Damsgaard. Also that boy Dolbeck. Don't you really? There could be better options for us attacking wise, because they can bring also the defensive side of things, especially Chiesa. He can attack. He's fast, and he can actually defend as well. So those are my questions, guys.
Dean, you're a star, bro. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bless that, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
My brother Dean, you know.
The pressure hits different, man.
Who wants to take Dean's question? So first question
I'll
was
take the Jones one.
You take the Curtis Jones, and then the second one was Dolberg, Chiesa, and Dimskas. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong.
I don't know much about them, man, other than Chiesa. I think it's Dolberg the striker.
Yeah, I can take the second question then.
What was there? Was there one more, or was there just two?
Dimskas? I think he's Danish, if I'm not mistaken.
My voice, I'm losing my voice as well, but
You
I
are
might
still.
lose my voice before the show is done out, you know.
It's got that Sean Dyche out here, bro.
Man needs that Manuka honey, bro.
The Manuka honey's on right now, brother. I had it before I come on the show.
You know the only thing I hate about Manuka honey is because I know all the facts about it. I know the density, the quality needs to be a certain high. So when I see the cheap ones, I'm like, yeah, but that's the one that's not gonna really do me nothing. Like the one I need, like £50. You're like, for a pot of honey.
Trust me. Trust me.
Go on then, Drift. Curtis Jones.
All right, what is Curtis Jones actually good at? Curtis Jones is what I will call a ball retention player. One thing I will say to you is I'm not too sure where I would actually put him in his ideal position. He's a little bit Grealishy for me in that regard, where I'm not quite sure where I definitely feel would be his best position. Maybe wide left, maybe wide right, number 10, maybe an advanced 8. I'm still not quite sure exactly what position I would say he's best at, but I would say he's a ball retention midfielder who's got good feet, keeps the ball, dribbles well, dribbles quite quickly to it. Maybe not like a Hazard or whatever, but he's quite quick with his dribbling, and I think he's got good long range shooting. So I think if we had him playing in the team week in, week out, what you would see is he will slightly start to give us what Coutinho used to give us. And that doesn't mean I'm saying he'll get as good as Coutinho, but that's the kind of mold of a player that I would say Jones is.
Fair dues. And then for Dolberg, Damsgaard, and Chiesa. So look, Chiesa's would be the one, innit? And again, this is where you got to shout at the club as well, because we looked at Chiesa before he went to Juventus. And I think we actually pushed for him, but he chose Juventus over us. So it's not like the club are sleeping. They are doing stuff behind the scenes. And it's been a few players like this. Even, look, Pedro Neto is another one. I tried to get Pedro Neto before he went to Wolves as well.
Did we actually?
Yeah. So
Okay, fair
like the
play,
club
fair play.
try and do. Bellingham was another one. So the club don't sit still. That is one thing I will say. Damsgaard, I've only seen him in the Euros. I thought he was just good. Dolberg, I was a massive fan of Dolberg, and then he completely fell off. But he seems as though he started to become rejuvenated again. I wouldn't get him right now, though. I don't think he's what we need right now. When he just broke out and when he was playing regularly at first, I thought he was absolutely excellent. But he seems as though he started to get back to his level again. So I wish him all the best.
Yeah.
All right. And they're bringing the next caller. Jamrock 75.
What's up, fellas?
Not too bad.
What's going on, Jamrock? What's going on, bro?
How you? Not much, man. Not much, man. I don't really have a question, but I wanted to provide something of food for thought in regards to a question I asked earlier this week dealing with Klopp not liking expensive players. So I was reading this article back when he when Manchester United signed Pogba, and he was furious about it, and he said the day
Club spends
we spend
£100 million
100 million
on
in
a
it,
player.
I'm not in a job anymore because game is about playing together. Then he said, in this moment we signed the most work when he was talking about Alisson. In this moment we signed the world's most expensive goalkeeper. There will be a few nice transfers in this window still. It will happen a lot. My responsibility is for this club to be as successful as possible. It is not for me to push through my thoughts about that and say, no, I don't want to pay big money. Because in the end, if Liverpool FC is not successful, it doesn't work. So I'm reading that as Klopp saying, my preference is not to purchase big money players. But if it's for the overall benefit of the club, I am fine with it. But his preference is not to spend big money on transfers because he thinks it's more of a team game and you build together with a number of players and developing those players. That's how I read that, and that's why I brought that up to you guys the other day. Not quite sure, where my timing is. So I wanted you guys to kind of chop that up in terms of what I just said. And I know. With that, I'm out, fellas.
Nice Jamrock, bro.
You know what? I actually wanted to let Jamrock finish because I could tell that the point he was making was very valid. So that's why I didn't give him the last 5 minutes to make him rush what he was saying. So we love Jamrock, so I just gave him that a little bit of a.
No, I agree.
But I will let you know
what you just said. Sorry,
what you would have got.
You just heard that, guys. We love Jamrock, and we all know me, Matt, and Drift disagree with Jamrock all the time. But you know what it is, guys? It's opinions and respect. Don't have to agree with each other. Don't disrespect each other in the comments.
It's how you
just be cool. Agree to disagree.
Jamrock is blessed, bro.
So before I say what I'm going to say, this is what Jamrock would have got if we didn't love him so much.
I know you have something to say, and I know you're eager to say it, so I'll get right to the point. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody will ever want to hear it. Nobody cares. And the fact that you thought someone might care is honestly baffling to me. Here's a world map. Now here's the text. Shut the fuck up. That's what you should do.
I can't even laugh unless my voice is gone, bro. I can't even laugh. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that's the best one.
Oh my god!
Man said, I know you got a lot to say.
That is brutal, bro. Oh my word!
All right,
I've never done anything that brutal.
That is raw blood.
Oh my
God. Play that one more time, please. You can play it one more time, bro.
I know you have something to say, and I know you're eager to say it, so I'll get right to the point. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody will ever want to hear it. Nobody cares. And the fact that you thought someone might care is honestly baffling to me. Here's a world map. Now here's the text. Shut the fuck up. That's what you should do.
The world map that killed me. Oh boy,
that's it. Now here's a world map. Now shut the f up.
Now, in response to what Jamrock's saying, I actually agree with him. I truly believe that Klopp is only doing what he needs to do because he's a smart enough man to know that moving with the times is necessary. I truly believe that Klopp wishes the world was about coaching. No one had all this dumb money and it was actually about what you could produce with your coaching ability and being a finder of gems, so to speak. I actually believe what Jamrock is saying Klopp meant when he said it.
Fair enough. 97.5 Jamrock also says Drifty Biggie is the greatest rapper dead or alive. That's in relation to Ish Talk. If you haven't watched it, make sure you tune into Ish Talk if you're a member.
Jamrock, I'm still going J, but
I am as well. Ace and Industry says new window, same physios. Enough is enough, fam. Do you know what? We need to really chop up the physio situation. I think we need to dedicate a good portion of a show to do that. So I won't get into it in this show because obviously we've got to get the rest of the callers in. The physio situation is something we should talk about, though. We'll find a way of getting that in for you guys. Next caller, Brother Rams.
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up?
Not too bad, brother.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I'm all good. Just celebrating my birthday this week, so it's
hey, hold on. What
was your birthday, bro?
2 days ago.
Kept that quiet,
happy
bro.
birthday, bro. Yeah, I was gonna say happy birthday,
I kept
Happy
it quiet from
birthday.
everyone.
You kept it quiet because once you're 21, it's all downhill, isn't it?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, it's true, bro. It's true. I'm getting old. But yeah, first thing I want to say, yeah, I'm on my way to for my vindication on the terrace because I got slaughtered for saying that I wanted Marcel Sabitzer at Liverpool, and I'm after Jess, Terry, Jem, and Tom for ridiculing me for that point. Yeah. Second thing is, what does Klopp need to do to become a tier 1 manager of all time in the history of football? And my last thing that I want you to chop up is, I think Vlahovic is the perfect striker that we should get, not only because he's different from Firmino, but if you look to the future and if Steven Gerrard does take over Liverpool, I think he'll be a perfect striker for him because of the way he plays and the way that he utilizes his wingers and his strikers. So yeah, that's my 3 points. That's my 3 points.
Nice one, bro.
I don't want that thing as well. I don't want that. That issue is harsh, bro.
Yeah,
that is harsh. That is harsh. Hey, big up, guys. Big up.
No,
Nice
big
one,
up, bro. Big up.
Best man.
Can I take the Vlahovic one?
Yeah, you know, we can keep the Klopp one real simple. He's already a tier 1 of all time. Yeah, we can do the Vlahovic thing now.
The Vlahovic one for me. I disagree, by the way, Drift. But
I was gonna say, let me get the Klopp one because I think there's something more I want to say. Drift ain't far off it though.
First, on Sabitzer, yes, Bayern Munich looked like they want Sabitzer, and Bayern Munich now had to identify a good player. So Rams on that one, you may be vindicated in the future. When it comes to Vlahovic, if I'm going to be honest, I think the perfect striker for us is Haaland. But in terms of who we can attract and get, I'd agree. Right now, Vlahovic is the guy because he offers something very, very different to what we have, and he could unleash even more weaponry from what Trent, Robbo, Thiago all bring to the table. I think Vlahovic would be an excellent signing for Liverpool Football Club.
So do I now. I'm very, very much on board the Vlahovic boat. I am.
All right, cool.
All right, tier 1, Matt.
Yeah, all right. So in regards to Klopp, I don't think he's tier 1 of all time this year, like what you've said. The reason being is because if you break it down and we're just talking numbers, he's won 2 major trophies in 5 to 6 years. So that's not enough to put him of all time. If he gets a few more Prems, a Champions League, then I'll say he goes in there. And he goes in there maybe with the least amount of trophies, but that's because what he's up against. He's up against a Man City that spend anything that they have, a Man United that are willing to put themselves into the ground to have money, a Chelsea that whenever they want, they can just pull out the checkbook and they can go and buy any player. So I'll say this, slightly different circumstances for Klopp, but if he gets a few more trophies, major trophies, Prem and the Champions League, I think he's in there still.
And you know, just off the back of what you said, I need a little rebuttal bell. I'm gonna get one because Kall obviously likes the rebuttal. I'm learning the art of rebuttaling. Ding ding ding, a little rebuttal bell. Matt, even though what you're saying has some facts to it, we always have to put context in and then we have to think logically based on that context. This is an argument I have with people who always get like a bit like, oh, well, it's like, no, but there's facts to it kind of thing. If you actually look at who we would consider a top tier manager, right, of all time, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not going to say all the names that there are, but I would say like Paisley, Ferguson, Mourinho, Ancelotti, like those are the type of people who put in a tier one of all time, right? It was Mourinho, those guys in there, right? Every single one of those guys has always pretty much had it their own way, which is an argument always aimed at Pep, which is why I didn't say Pep because I didn't want Kall to rebuttal me.
You're waiting still.
Yeah, so
I had my hand on my waist, bro.
So why you've always got to put things into context is Shankly, perfect example to just make my point. Shankly didn't win anywhere near the type of stuff that, say, Paisley did, but he's the one who was the trendsetter, the pace setter, the reason why, so to speak, right? So when you actually look at the situation with what Klopp's been in, to be at the clubs Klopp's been at and to still even be spoken about as being able to sit at that table, this man's been to 3 Champions League finals. I know we didn't win 2 of them, but he was the underdog in both anyway, right? He's been to 3 Champions League finals, 4 European finals in total. He's won 3 titles against juggernauts, absolute juggernauts, and he's defeated all the odds and won those titles. He's built squads from the bottom up with very little money, or on what would be considered a tight budget in comparison to everyone around him. And he is widely renowned currently as the manager you would want if you could pick any man. Right now, if you said to any team in world football, it's Pep or Klopp. Any team in world football, who do you want? Pep or Klopp. And it's been that way for a while. Yeah. So for me, I think context makes him a top tier manager, because you put him at a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, a Bayern Munich, a Juventus, and all the teams the others have managed, AC Milan when Ancelotti was there. Of course he wins. Like, it would actually be a given he would win. You can't even say, but no, he would have won what they won, in my opinion, because of how great he's shown he's been at smaller clubs with way less. So for me, Klopp's already a tier 1 manager of all time, regardless if he wins anything else or whatever. So
very fair argument, Drew. Knight75 Jamrock says, fellas, I see some convo about me being arrogant. It's not arrogance as much as I am as subtle as a 2. It's not arrogance as much. I am as subtle as a 2x4 to the back of the head. Blame my grandma.
That's true. Jamrock is not subtle.
He's not subtle.
He's swinging still.
Mr. Dare I Say It Drift says, do a show of the top 4 teams. Know to see who has the best 11 and the best squad. Also, the Bobby Jota or Cavani Marshall. Who are you taking? So Bobby Jota or Cavani Marshall?
That show's coming when the window shuts, by the way.
Yeah, but
we might as well wait till the window shuts because we don't know at the moment, do we?
I just answered the second question though. Bobby and Jota, I'm taking over Marshall and Cavani.
Yes.
For me, it's not even close. Like, I rate Cavani. I don't really rate Marshall.
I rate Martial, but not a Man United now. He's let his career die. If you'd asked me this 3 years ago, I probably would have gave you a different answer.
That's fair enough. Oh, yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah, because Jota 3 years ago wasn't the Jota he is today either. So, yeah, 100%.
No, I mean Martial. If it was a 3 years ago Martial, I would have given you a different answer.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, going to get the next caller in. The legend himself. How you doing, Jamie, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How you guys?
Looking fresh in that as well, bro.
Yeah, I see the new haircut. Hold on, whose birthday was it? Was it your birthday as well?
That was my 40th. Yeah.
Oh, when was it?
That was a week ago. I keep them up because the kids like it.
Oh, bro, we gotta drop the beat for you, bro.
You should have left last week, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna reset the timer as well now because it was your birthday. Go on, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So I just want to say that when I look at the Barcelona situation at this moment in time, they're probably the second biggest team in world football, and they're the worst run team in world football. And I look at the way we are at the moment. We're one of the top 5 teams in world football, but we are also one of the best run teams in world football. I don't want to buy football players because people want to buy players and put them on ridiculous wages when we can't afford it, like Barcelona have, and go down that route. I just don't want it. I'm quite happy at the moment where we are. Got Canate in. For me, we've got the 4 best centre-backs in English football. A front 4 of Jota, Salah, Mane and Bobby. There ain't many better. Yeah, we need a few more, but I want players that come in that can compete for the first 11, not just players that are come in and sit on the bench and make the squad look better, if that makes sense. Secondly, I think, do you think, this is a question for you guys, in the future, there will be no such thing as transfers because of wages being so high now, they take most of the club's money. Transfers don't seem to be a problem anymore. And fuck Harry Kane. Done.
Jamie, you legend, bro.
Oh my god, that was so out of nowhere.
I swear, I love that guy to bits, man. I really do.
Oh my god, that was so out of nowhere. Oh my god. Oh,
in terms of the transfer thing, dare I say, Jamie could actually be right, you know. When you look at players like Gini, Messi, Donnarumma, it could be saying the same about Pogba next year. Some of the best players in world football are leaving for free, on frees, because they know it kind of benefits them to do it from their perspective. And we could be talking about Mbappe in the same breath as well next summer. We're either going to see a lot more release clauses or we're going to see a lot more free transfers, I think. But I don't think we'll ever get rid of transfer fees.
Yeah, because that would kill football, because it's the only way the clubs maintain themselves. So that actually kind of, it could get tricky. You're right, because if teams, do you know what teams will do? Teams will start only giving out contracts where the player don't really have a say in the length. So it'll be a thing that you can have all this money, but the length will be so long, they'll know they'll always get a transfer fee out of it. So you can't do a 2 or 3 years and run it down. Do you remember when we could get phone contracts for 12 months? And then the phone company realized that you could just duck out. So they made only 24-month or 36-month contract. It's like maybe the teams will start doing that. So you can't just keep breezing out all the time. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, maybe.
The other question Jamie was saying in terms of, it wasn't necessarily a question, but in terms of speaking about sort of the squad and the first 11 stuff. Again, it is true, but I think you can get players who will challenge players from the first 11. Like Jota, for example, was brought in knowing he was going to start off as a backup, and he's become one of our main players now. I think, and again, I look at the centre-back situation. Only 2 centre-backs are going to play at a time, but we've got those 4 centre-backs because we know we need them. Because if one gets injured, then you know you're still good. So I think the club does need competition. Sometimes players have to play the role and know their sort of place in the team. And I think if you give them enough minutes, you give them enough of something to work towards, and I think you'll get the best out of them.
No, I agree. How do you feel about this, Kall? Just quickly.
Go.
Not a wage cap, because wages are getting stupid now. Like this is actually.
There won't be a wage cap.
No. But how about this? How about there's a wage cap for a basic, and we start running this like a phone shop. So what happens is you only get boosted in your incentives. So if you're, say, Andre Gray and you're signing for Leicester, your incentive would probably only be $5,000 per goal, for example, on a goal bonus. If you're Messi, your incentive will be 50,000 per goal. And you know, like just to give you a small example of what I mean. So how about if that was what it was? How about if basic salary was capped at 3 tiers, like the dentist? What do you need? What level player are you? Do you just need a checkup? £36. Do you need a fill-in? 50. Do you get what I mean? Like, so they're just free cap based on level, and then it's all incentivized based. That way, you're earning your money, bro. Because then you can't do an Ozil and sit on the bench and get 350, because really you're only getting £100 a week. And see what makes up that 350 is goals, assists, wins. But if you don't take part in the game and do any of that, You can't just sit on the bench with your feet up on an umbrella acting like this is all good in the hood. Because that would probably mean that players would have to work harder for their money and they wouldn't just be able to be all prima donna-y like they are. Like I saw Bell with his hood over his thing, all in the things that, bro, he wouldn't be doing that if his money was getting wasted. He wouldn't. Do you get what I'm saying? So maybe that could be a way to do it.
I get the notion. I just don't agree with doing a cap. I just don't. I know people say football's going to bankrupt itself or eat itself dry. That's for the clubs to worry about. They bring in more revenue than they've ever brought in before. So does that mean the clubs just sit on the revenue? Because effectively the players are the ones that provide the entertainment for the clubs.
Bro,
to get
only in the Prem. Because if you look around the world, they ain't getting that money like we do. It's only, I think the Prem blind us to clubs make tons of money. Bro, in Spain, Italy, Holland, them clubs are struggling, bro.
No, I hear that. But at the same time, shall I tell you what it is, Drift? Like, you see your example of doing the whole bonus scheme thing. I worked in a phone shop, brother. It gets techie, man. And shall I tell you what can happen? It could be a thing where you get players who start playing for themselves, and that's not good for the team either. And then you also get players who, God forbid, like one of our, let's say Salah was on that sort of contract, he got injured. Like Salah's getting a third of what he'd normally be getting, but because of an injury, and he's earned the right to be on the salary he's on, I don't think that would be too right. Plus, remember, footballers have a very short window. We can work in my lifetime. I could work from the ages from 16, God sparing my life, up to what, 65, 66. Footballers, they really start making money maybe from their 18 to 36.
No, bro. What you're saying,
and don't get me wrong, they get great money, but it's not just themselves they're looking after. They've got to look after family and friends. If you think we have to look after family and friends, but family and friends know what these players are getting. But
then that's down to family just being a bit out of order if you're not going to work for your own and try and suck dry the person who made it. That's family issues. But no, what you're saying makes perfect sense. Maybe I'm just being a bit harsh because, bro, these men making 1 year what I'll make in my whole lifetime, maybe. I hope I get to a point where that's not true. But as it stands, I'm not going to make £4 million in my lifetime.
But they've earned it, though, Drift. They've worked their
No,
life
but what I'm
for
saying is, so if a bog standard player can make £4 million in 1 year and get more than I'll probably earn in my lifetime, or maybe what it takes me in a lifetime to accumulate, right? Why on earth am I going to feel sorry for him? If he's got 10 years of making that type of money, bro, I don't feel sorry for him. Bro.
I'm not saying you have to feel sorry for him, but I'm saying it has to be a level of fairness. Like, we see them as bog standard, but we weren't there when they were sacrificing certain things that we get to take advantage of. Like they're in this position.
Bro? I don't think there's anything a normal person gets that's more beneficial than a footballer.
What do you mean?
Like from when you leave school at 18 or 21, and you put that to the equivalent of signing a professional contract at 18, I don't really think there's any struggle a footballer will go through where you could go, oh no, but a normal person was all right there, so it's comparable.
But they get slandered from like the age of 15, 16. Some of them have to sacrifice being around friends.
It's just
you can't just say just mental.
No, I'm saying so. Like mental stress is probably the only thing they get more than what a normal person gets.
Well, not necessarily, bro. Like you could ask yourself, like when you were 15, 16, brothers, as we always say, bro, we were doing all sorts, bro. These men can't do that. They got to be in bed early. They got to be up early to train and sacrifice and do things. Like they may want to go park and chill out with their brethren. They can't do that because they got a game in the evening or they got a game. Like they have to learn discipline a lot earlier than a lot of other people.
Listen, I don't know if I'd use that as an excuse because I think we'd all trade with them. So at the same time,
we trade with where they are now. That's what we like.
I'd have even given up my childhood to be a professional footballer. I would have 100%.
But we didn't though.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to feel sorry for you for going training and not having a childhood, but it got you what you wanted, which is what I dreamed of when I was 14, 15.
Exactly. They sacrificed then so they could live good now.
Yeah, but I would do that sacrifice. So I don't think that's a sacrifice worth giving them credit for because it's a sacrifice we would all do. No, but it's a sacrifice we would all do.
So why don't more people do it, bro?
Because we don't have the talent. Which is the only difference. They have the talent. That's the only difference.
But that is a massive difference, bro.
Yeah,
but talent and they couple it with hard work and sacrifice. Like if you're talking to me someone like Ravel Morrison, for example, and I hate to even bring up a personal name, but Ravel Morrison, then I could be like, yeah, I get it. But someone like Henderson, for example, nah, I'm happy Henderson's getting all that type of money.
No, I'm happy for him. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel bad for him that when his career's over, he won't make no more. I don't feel sorry for him one bit, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Because remember, you said they only get a short period of time. Bro, he deserves every penny he gets. But once his career's over, I do not feel sorry for him. He won't make no more, or he might not make any more. Because he made enough, bro, in that time.
I don't know.
He made more than enough, bro.
I see it differently.
Championship footballers are the one I feel bad for. Division 1, Division 2, because they make normal level money. And then when their career's over, they've just got to come and join the rest of us. I feel sorry for those guys. Premier League footballers? I don't feel sorry for Premier League footballers, bro.
I tell you what, I think it's a human thing. I think we look at someone's position where they are now, and we look at them at their peak as opposed to where they've necessarily come from or where they could end up.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit here and say I'd feel sorry for him, because I think, yeah, you can reinvest your money. You can invest your money in certain things to make sure you've got sort of royalties, or you've got passive.
Or you could even just not live a high lifestyle and be smart. Like, you don't have to ball out because you've got a lot of money. Do you get what I mean?
No,
you could actually just say, you know what, I'm going to act like I only make 50 grand a year or 100 grand a year, and just make that money sit there. And when I'm retired, I can just be like, I'm good. My family's good. Like, you don't have to ball out. I don't feel sorry for you because you've got to maintain your £2 million mansion. Like, cry me a river. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but we're saying that because we're not in that position, Drift.
Yeah, but this is still all about mental strength, though, bro. Do you get what I mean? Like, you don't have to ball out because you got money. That is something.
I'm not saying to ball out. I just think footballers get a really rough deal from people. I agree with that. I don't think actors come under this sort of scrutiny. I don't think actresses come under this sort of scrutiny. I don't think any other sports, like Lewis Hamilton, gets a fat amount of money, and I barely see anyone speaking about the sort of money he gets.
He probably makes more than all of these, though.
Exactly. So I think the problem is their money shouldn't even be disclosed, in my opinion. There should just be an overall wage fee that is given to the accounts, and when we see the accounts, but that should be it, man. That should be it.
Yeah, like, listen, I agree with both sides.
We shouldn't know what each person gets. That's wrong.
I agree with both sides. So it's a difficult one. But incentive stops people just sitting around thinking they can do fuck all and get these high wages. Because it's the only sport, it's the only industry, when you really think about it, that you can do that. Even a movie star, he can't sign a contract to be in the film and halfway through go, fuck it, get a stump double, I ain't doing this no more and get paid. Like, sport is actually the only place where you can sign it and then just do nothing and they have to pay you.
Yeah, but
it
also works both ways, brother. A player can have a contract and the club can still get rid of that player against their own wishes as well. So it works both ways.
No, but they got to pay you off. So you still get the money. You have to be given the value of your contract. They can't get rid of you without paying you off, bro.
But even still, that's a lump sum payment. You don't know when your next paycheck might come, or you might just not want to leave that place, bro.
I know, bro, that lump sum's nice.
Just based on the Lewis Hamilton thing, yes, he risked his life. I get that. And obviously, footballers don't risk their life in something as risky. But, bro, a bad injury or a bad leg break could be the end of someone's career as well. So we have to consider that. We are going to get one more caller in because we are going to have to shoot off shortly. But anyone who doesn't get on this one, you guys know by now, if you DM me, DM Drift, DM Matt, or DM the Kop-ish account, we'll get you on next week.
I'm fully man down to that. I can't even lie.
No, apologies. Drift, you got the timer ready?
Yes, bro.
Right. I need
Big
to be
bucks.
More.
Hello?
Big bucks, Champions League winner 2021.
Yeah, yep. That's what I am.
Well, that's what your club is.
Yeah, that's what my club is. You see me, I don't count Super Cup as a trophy. Because the other day when Chelsea won it, I never even celebrated. Like, I honestly don't care, bro. To me, it's pre-season, bro. Because if this is the Charity Shield, why is the Super Cup getting credit?
Because the Super Cup is when you win the two most prestigious European trophies.
And the FA and the Community Shield is when you win the most two prestigious trophies in your country. So let's be real.
One of which not a lot of teams really take seriously.
Yeah, but Super Cup, is that really any, better?
Yeah, Super Cup's a big cup, man. You should be proud of that.
You think so, yeah?
100%.
I don't really class that as a trophy, brother. But yeah, but we still won it. Anyway, anyway, we got Lukaku now, our bad boy striker. Yeah, I told man, I would rather get Lukaku than Haaland. Everyone's like, "No, are you crazy? Are you crazy?" Because he got prem proven. Haaland to me, yeah, I can't lie to you. I don't know if it's because he's blonde, but he gives me Werner vibes, man.
Who, Haaland?
I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is. I think it's a both for the German league, the same color hair, same color skin. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know, bro.
Man said they're all the same. They're all the same.
Bro, it's true. He gives me Werner vibes, bro.
No, do you know
Haaland is dead different.
Yeah, I
You
think
so,
Haaland's
yeah?
different.
I
But
don't rate him stuff.
I can't sit here though and say categorically you're wrong because there's no proof to what we're saying and to what you're saying. But I still disagree though.
Oh, it has to be me, innit?
I know you have something to say, and I know you're eager to say it, so I'll get right to the point. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody will ever want to hear it. Nobody cares. And the fact that you thought someone might care is honestly baffling to me. Here's a world map. Now here's the text. Shut the fuck up. That's what you should do.
He ducked out before he
I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad because that was an assist for me because I knew where the timer was, and I was like, you know what, as a Chelsea fan, let's get. But no, big up Big Bucks each and every time. It wasn't me, it was Drift at the
Matt
time.
with the layup.
Yeah, the alley-oop and that, yeah.
That was AD, bro.
Asen says, "What blank did you give my man, Big Bucks, bruh?" I'm gonna be real with you. Haaland is one of the players outside of the Premier League who I think comes and does a madness.
But you know, I will say to Big Bucks, and this is not me even feeling sorry for him or me trying to give him credit. There's no evidence to suggest that, you know, Haaland is just going to do what he done in Bundesliga in the Prem. So I understand maybe there's that kind of, he's a striker from Germany. We just said Werner. How do I know he's going to be better? There is actually no proof to that, and he's kind of right. Not right, but I kind of understand. Like, there's nothing to base it on. But I think we all know. Haaland.
You know what? And I'll double down and back Matt up on that one. And Big Bucks in the sense of there's actually grade A evidence of somebody being an absolute killer in the Bundesliga and coming to England and being regarded now as a flop. And there's no way anybody can sit here and say that Werner was looked at the way Haaland is in terms of height. But in terms of goal scoring, he was looked at like that. He was seen as a killer. Everybody was like, if Liverpool get Werner, we duppy everything. He's a killer. He's what we need, etc., etc. You kind of have to say, in Germany, he was savage. He was savage in Germany.
I've got a horrible little rebuttal for you both.
One last one though, Kall. Before you get your rebuttal in, let me see how good your rebuttal is when I say this one though.
Go on.
I know it's a different league, but remember when Chelsea got Shevchenko and he was the ultimate killer, and look what happened.
Yes. Very true. My rebuttal is though, do you not have to sometimes look at the club where these players are going to? And there seems to be a little pattern that these players have been playing for Chelsea. Falcao, Shevchenko, Werner.
That is
now,
true.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. Fernando Torres, Prem proven, you guys would say, right? Played more games for Chelsea than Liverpool. Was he a flop at Chelsea, would you say?
Numbers wise, no. Based on what we know he should have been, yes.
He was a flop.
But when you actually check his numbers, he actually got a lot of
I don't need political drifty right now. I need Rago drifty. Was he a flop drifty? Yes or no?
Don't answer that question. No, we don't need. I'm his lawyer. We don't need to answer them silly questions.
All right.
Next question.
That's my point. I think the Prem thing only goes so far as if a player goes to the club that they should go to.
I hear you, and I get it. That whole Chelsea thing, we get it because even as you said, there's been many a striker. Even Kesman, I'm going back here now. Like Kesman, there's certain strikers where you think, bro, when they go to Chelsea, they just don't do the thing. Like it just doesn't work. They don't play their style of football or whatever. But one thing I will say though, you're probably no. Do you know what Haaland? I think bangs out though, because I think if Lukaku.
Haaland at Liverpool would do a
And even if you're talking about playing style, I know Lukaku and Haaland aren't the same player, but they still share some characteristics that are similar. And if you want to even base it on that, Haaland probably more, not even that. He just would be a success at Chelsea, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, Crespo, Chelsea have ruined or messed up.
They've ruined
some
enough, man.
Killers,
Didn't
they have for real.
make actually, I don't even know if I should say this because we're not on the thing, but didn't they make a certain Romanian striker do a little thing still?
That's how much they were stressing him out, yeah?
Man was hella stressed, you know. And he's living in West London. Getting
I'm in
big
love
fat
with
pay.
the cocoa. Baking soda. I got baking soda.
Bro.
Baking soda. I got baking soda.
My voice is gone. Aye, listen.
Whip it in the club.
I'm in love with the cocoa. I can't even say it. My voice is gone.
AA says Drift. Adrian has no talent, but he's on 50k a week. That rebuttals my argument still.
This is what I'm saying.
There's always exceptions. No, there's always exceptions. There's always exceptions. That was the ultimate rebuttal. I didn't deserve that.
I didn't want to say the name. Sorry, Cal, just quickly, but I didn't want to say the name. So the person said it for me.
I'm in love with the cocoa.
Abramovich might be on these airways, bro. We ain't got that financial power. We got bills to pay, remember?
Werner was missing in Germany. YouTube fans ignored it. That's a point as well. A lot of us don't get the chance to watch as much Bundesliga as we would
maybe
other leagues as well. Hopefully that changes this season.
By the way, yes, but I rated his ability.
I did as well.
Abdi asked if I hated Costa. I said yes. But I rated his ability.
Costa was sick.
No,
remember when we tried to get him? Imagine Brendan tried to get Costa.
Brendan, bro,
do you want with Suarez?
Bro, you know that would have been.
That would have been the Dudley boys, bro.
That would have been instead of bad boys for life. That would have been dirt bags for life.
I'm gonna be real. That would have
been a bushwhackers thing. That man would have just come in and just wrecked up the whole place.
I'd have been Legion of Doom. But, what a rush! Them two. Can you imagine being a centre back partnerships? And you're like, who's on a fixture list next, boss? Liverpool. Oh, you're joking. Well, Costa and Suarez, are they both fit? Yeah, they're both fit.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Every week you would have seen their best player had an injury in training that week, innit?
Yeah, their centre back would have got injured. Like, I know.
You know what's jokes though? We all hate Costa because he was a rival, but we respect him, right? I can't think of many times Costa actually got sent off or had long bans.
He got you sent off, bro.
He knew how to toe the line.
Yeah, he did,
Suarez just went way over the top, innit?
Suarez was just wild. Like
Suarez
never got sent off either. It was always after the fact with video.
That's what I'm saying. He got long-term bans, innit?
Yeah,
no, but that was because man had CCTV though, bro. Man got caught on camera, bro.
He's like Tommy and Costa's like Ghost, innit?
Yeah.
Tommy's always the man that just goes way overboard and makes sure he sends a message in it. Whereas Costa used to just do subtle things. Whereas like Tommy would just always take that extra step and be like, "Raw, Tommy, you didn't have to do that, Tommy."
And you're always worried about Tommy. You're always worried.
Exactly.
Always. Every minute of the day, you're like, Tommy, man.
Do you want to know something that was but then who was Kanan? Because Kanan was just over the top, bro. Who was Kanan?
Kanan's like Dios for someone, isn't it?
Yeah.
No morals.
Dios is like says some mad stuff, and I'm like, bro,
no morals. No morals.
No morals. Man that much.
Yeah.
He my son. You know my son. Flip. 10 years later, he ain't my son.
Who's Tariq?
Who's the biggest?
Who's the most? Do you want to know what? I don't
tell you, innit?
Nah, Tariq is flipping. What?
that naughty you in it.
No, allow it. Tariq's Bernardo Silva, bro. Tariq's Bernardo Silva. Bro.
Bernardo Silva's a big man. Balotelli was a youth when he was
It's Balotelli.
like had a very unfortunate upbringing, just like Tariq, but was a madman. Was a madman.
Yeah.
Did mad stuff at a young age.
Remember, his dad said, "Son, you have potential." Like, what happened to you, bro?
Tariq is the face of 2020, you man. That's Bernardo Silva.
Not the face of 2020. AM says Torres was already on the decline at Liverpool, though. He wasn't.
You want to know what's mad, you lot? He wasn't on the decline, you know. Do you know what? Jamie Carragher let the cat out of the bag. He actually said that he'd been down tooling for about 12 months and the whole squad was getting annoyed with him because he had all that issues with the owners and stuff. He was kind of deliberately down tooling, apparently, in training, everything. And it was like, obviously, you could tell on the pitch. So apparently, it weren't even the injuries, you know. Apparently, he was just down tooling because he didn't want to play for Liverpool anymore.
Right.
Fair enough. AM says rumours going on Klopp owns 15% of FSG stocks. No, he don't.
That cannot be right.
No, he
that
don't.
ain't real.
You know how much 15% of FSG probably is?
That's a lot.
That's like 600 million or something, innit?
Bro.
Yeah, I hope Klopp's not doing that.
He could get transfers out of his own way.
What you say? He put in his own investment to get
Own investment.
But since you won't give me the money, I'll take it out.
Yeah, I do it myself.
Plus, do you know something? You know when everyone keeps on backing FSG for buying Thiago, as much as I'm grateful, I wouldn't have my screensaver if it wasn't for them in that regard. So I'm grateful, but it was only because our neighbour was leaving to go to live in Australia and was selling a Porsche that's worth 80 grand for 10. Now, we got to remember as well, they wouldn't have got us Thiago if it weren't for the cut down price. It weren't like they were all over it and
I
they knew the price was cheap and just thought, all right. So
I hear you. Do you know what it is? The stars aligned, you are right. But I think even though the stars aligned, you still have to give them a slight bit of credit that
they still did it.
They aligned
more than
we was the team that he wanted to go to. Maybe that's
he could have gone to any team in world football.
So,
but you know what, though, Kall, before we go,
this
guy signed a new contract.
I know,
if I'm not mistaken, Kall.
Spoke about that the Daily News show. I know, beautiful.
This guy signed a new contract.
Oh, that is one good-looking brother, you know. Man is Zeus out here, bro. Big up.
Van Dijk to any striker in December.
Send me a message like location. I'm gonna come. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. Ireland, New York, Brooklyn, or Moscow, doesn't matter. Tell me where.
Tell me where.
I tell you what though, I did send a tweet out today. I love the distraction technique.
It's not
from the PR.
It's not distraction.
No, we gotta be honest, guys. We love the fact that these big boys are signing deals, but this is This is deflection tactics.
It's deflection,
bro.
So what you're telling me? We should have just put out one easy tweet.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is because they know they're not gonna get us players, they're trying to fool up our head by
they're not
giving us all of these contract extensions.
All they've done is done what any other club would do.
Yeah,
they've done a little tweet on Twitter. They're gonna neck on.
No, I'm not talking about the way they're doing it. I'm talking about the timing. It's so convenient while we're all worried about transfers that they keep dropping these contracts in to give us and it's deflection tactics. I'm telling you, look. It's deflection tactics. I don't care what no one says.
I
It's
don't know if it's
deflecting
deflecting. All I know is
because
we'll
all
only
we
be able
have
to say that.
hear
We'll
about
only be
is
able to say that at
contract
the end of the window, though. We'll only be able to say that by the end of the window.
And not only that, though, regardless, even though
But we should be over the moon. We've just tied down the best centre back in the world.
No, I am over the moon, but we shouldn't be acting like this is such a because we should have other stuff going on. It should be heavy.
I hear you.
It shouldn't be. It's the only thing we've got to celebrate. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's the only thing we've got to celebrate now. But the window's not shut yet.
I hear you though, but let's think about it. Van Dijk, Fabinho, Alisson, Trent. Excuse me. Those are 4 players that we sign up to new deals. Now I get it. They're not new signings. They're not.
But I said this in the Daily News show as well. It's like they obviously don't go overboard, but you have to be happy about this.
Oh no, I'm happy. Of course, I'm happy. But I see the deflection in it. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I see the deflection tactics in there. I see
there's deflection. Yeah,
there is, bro. I see.
Ason said had 3 bottles of Supermall after the Bernardo Silva rumors. Shall I be real with you guys? If he wasn't such an absolute rumors that we may go in for him. 1, Pep is never going to sell to his nearest rivals. And 2, I'll be honest with you, if he wasn't such a dirty, stinking rat, he'd be brilliant for us.
With Bernardo.
Yeah. But
as you said, dirty, stinking rat.
This is Lee Bowyer levels. I'm not joking. I reconsider my Liverpool card, if we sign Bernardo Silva.
We won't. That will never happen. Pep's not going to sell one of his best players to us.
I nearly gave up on Liverpool when we were going to buy Lee Bowyer, I nearly gave up. I'm not joking. I know I was only a youth.
But we ain't getting Bernardo, man. Don't worry, man.
We're
good.
But if he was a good person, I'd be all over it.
If he weren't a dickhead, then
yeah, for real.
Maybe we would actually.
He's more than a dickhead, man.
Yeah.
No, obviously, I'm just,
But he's putting a talent, just a talent. Him under Klopp.
Put talent aside,
madness under Klopp.
But if you put his personality in there as well,
his personality, that's what brings it down.
I can't say what I want to say because it's not 9. So,
he's like a woman whose features are an 8.5 out of 10, but her personality is a -6. Like them ones where you speak to her on the phone and you're just like, oh gosh, why am I even speaking to you? And you just hang up.
I've been in that situation. I'm gonna go and sit over there because I might as well. This conversation's about as interesting as paint drying.
No, it's not even about interesting conversations. They're just toxic.
Yeah.
Them ones there.
Like you'll call her and be like, "How's your day?" Well, my day would have been better if this and you did this and you did it. And you're just like, "Oh, is it? Yes, see you later."
Yeah. I'm not gonna. That must be man's worst nightmare.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, see you later. Yeah, see you later.
You're talking to what you're thinking.
You rang to call out your day's doing. You're telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing. Do one, would you? 975 Jamrock says, Drift, that video you played, people going over their time is, believe it or not, typical scenario in my role. I've seen key workers cry about the abuse.
Co-workers.
What? I'm
what
lost.
You mean being told that they've got to shut up for real? Oh my days.
Rotted.
Hey, Jamrock is in a savage work environment and people are being told to shut the F up at work. Oh my days.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
That's why Jamrock's so vicious with it. That's why Jamrock's got that viciousness.
Touch wood. I'll be honest. If someone at my workplace told me to shut the F up, you better sack me because I'm gonna do a sackable offense.
If someone said that to me at work, you man both know my employee ID is
you're gonna have to sack me because I'm going to do a sackable offense after that.
This would be like it'd be like this, isn't it?
Shut up! I'll tell you to your face. Yes. I'll tell you to your face.
Not having it. I don't care if you're the CEO. I don't care if you're the chairman. Are you stupid?
Yeah, that wouldn't be happening, man. But look, people, we're going to wrap up because obviously there is a game going on at the moment, which it seems is a bit banterful at the moment as well.
What's the score, by the way?
No, don't want to ruin it for you guys. What
we're saying? Ivan Toney has scored. Has he scored?
All I'm saying is AFTV chill and popcorn tonight.
You're lying, can't.
I'm not.
Make sure you get the sweet and sugar. I mean, sweet and salty.
Has Ivan Toney scored?
Well, you don't like sweet and salty, Cal.
No, I don't like salt popcorn.
It is
but
not
when you
1-0 to
sweet and
Brentford.
salty together,
No, it can't be. Is it 1-0 to Brentford? Ivan Toney.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It was the ex-Liverpool player Sergi Canos that scored as well. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Are you, man? Arteta in the post-match interview if Arsenal lose this game.
I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these past few months, and knowing how.
Do you know which jokes I was gonna drop that in today as well? I was gonna drop that in.
Nah.
Right, Arteta in, man. Arteta in.
Arteta in all day, every day.
Ason says, before City get Kane is in before City get Kane and still go for Haaland next. I don't see them getting both Kane and Haaland.
No. They won't get both.
This ain't an Arsenal bantering session, yeah. But on a serious note, this is just me being genuinely for real. I'm not even gonna laugh. I'm gonna translate this with a straight face. They sold Joe. I don't know. They sold Joe Willock, yeah, for 25 mil. If I'm not correct, yeah, to Newcastle. Am I correct in saying that? Yeah,
that's correct.
They did a Michael Edwards on that.
And he's no. But hear me out though. He got a record, if I'm not mistaken, for like scoring 7 games in a row for Newcastle,
6
right?
or 7, yeah.
But they are choosing to keep certain man like Xhaka. I don't know. They want to give Smith Rowe a new contract. He's supposed to be amazing.
Leno.
Where's the other? Who's the other one?
Leno, Bellerin.
Now they need goals from midfield. Would it not have been like a bit of a calculated gamble if you would have kept Willett to see what he could do? I don't understand that, you know.
And so it begins. Who they getting to do the voiceover for that? Are they getting Tom Hardy to do the voiceover again? Who they getting? Because if Tom Hardy's doing it this time, he needs to put the Bane mask on and be like,
bro, when that goal went in, yeah, this was the Arsenal shareholders when they realized they were still being recorded for Amazon.
No.
And this is the rest of the world. Oh, boy.
And this was the whole of the chat and Team Kopish. I'm done.
Did you see he put the finger up? He was like, from the
first game. Oh my word!
Do you want to know the worst thing? Yes, sir. All Arsenal fans, I do apologize that we seem to be piling on. It's just because you're playing in it. But and they might even win. I wished for this moment when I was a child so much when those Arsenal fans used to be giving me shit. And what's weird is I'm too mature now to truly revel in it. If only this happened like 10, 15 years ago.
Speak for yourself, bro. I'm about to hop in the group chat, bro. Are you mad? Speak for yourself, bro.
Big up Ty as well. Big up Ty. Stress right now for you, Ty. But you know
what? Ty's not even the one that's stressed because Ty will probably come out and be like, "So you can lose the first game of the season, we'll still win the league." Yeah, I don't actually think he's the one that'll be stressed, bro. I don't. Yeah. He'll be like, "So what? Who cares if we lost the first game of the season? We did the invincible." Like, it's what it is, bro.
That's true. Big
Oh,
up Ty as well, though, because love for Ty. We've obviously had him on the channel before, if I'm not mistaken. We've done some stuff with Ty, so big him up, and yeah, man.
Come on, I love Ty, but when it comes to Arsenal,
Ty's best, man.
he's just got to stop being like over the top in terms. Just come on, bro. Just be real. You know you don't believe that. You know Arsenal.
Say that though. We've been with him. I think he does believe it.
Only in arguments, bro. Only in arguments.
I'm not gonna lie. The only person that I think will be flipping tables right now, right as the even the game's still on, things have changed. No, it's Troops, you know.
Turkish will be livid.
No, yeah, and Troops would be. I'm not gonna lie. Troops would be flipping tables, bro. Trust me. Big up Troops, man.
I love Arsenal.
Doing this thing at Barstool.
I genuinely love Arsenal Football Club.
Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole.
I mean, you know, Amazon cameras are there right now, and they're just WhatsApping each other. Like, you lot,
do you know what?
We're gonna have some gold content.
They're
this
losing to
weekend.
they're losing to Brentford, and again, like, not saying it can't happen. Like,
They'll probably end up winning 2-1, like I said.
Yeah, because we could be losing to, like, for example, Norwich under, in 10 minutes, and we still win the game 4-1. But I'm not gonna lie, we want to end it on a positive note because this is us for tomorrow. I played the wrong clip.
You out here talking about a click.
I actually played the wrong clip.
You out here talking about.
I'm out here talking about a clip.
You out here talking about a click.
I'm out here talking about a clip.
You out here talking about a click. The only click you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold, sucker. Okay?
Norwich, we're coming for you.
Zubiri said, blessings, my G's. I'm due for a call in, so get on or let me get in on the FSG in debate. I thought we signed Liverpool Lee, still waiting for his debut. Liverpool Lee has already been signed. We're just waiting for the papers to go through, but Liverpool Lee is officially a Liverpool supporter. Papers are just being done at the moment. No fax machines. We're not Real Madrid. We will get that deal wrapped up before deadline day. Ace and Industries, Amazon all or nothing on Arsenal will be worth it. Jeff Bezos right now is sitting there thinking, I didn't think I could get any richer, but you know what? We just hit the jackpot. But people, we're going to sign off here. Please do smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Much love for all the support. Go on.
If Arsenal got relegated, do you think they'd crash the internet?
I don't
True
know.
or false, you will fight again this year?
It's hard to put it.
It's hard to put into words, bro. I mean, they might.
I think the internet would crash. I think the internet would crash if Arsenal got relegated.
Yeah, they probably would. They probably would.
Ramsdale is looking at this thinking right now, I might as well just stay in the Championship still. I might as well just stay here.
I'll buck you, man, next year, innit?
Don't worry, man. I'll stay here for a year. I'll do my first year at uni. You, man, join. I'll show you all the nice spots to eat and all that. Oh, boy.
All right, do you know what, though? Before we leave out, though, I'm going to get in trouble for this. These men don't know what I'm about to play. But I'm going to... Drift knows, because you can tell by my
Bro, don't do
I'm
it.
going to play half a second. That's all we're getting. That's all we're getting.
This guy, man. This guy.
That's our brother. Ibu.
Oh boy! But
no, Demo's off to a flyer on the fantasy league.
Indeed.
If you make sure you sign up to the fantasy again, if you haven't already, in fact, you know, I've put
too late for this game week, but
yeah.
And you know what? There's been a lot of people out there saying that the code isn't working, but guys, you're probably adding a bit of space where you've like copied the code.
Yeah.
You've got to delete that little bit of space at the end because it thinks it's an extra character.
Make sure there's no space, basically.
And the actual direct link that you don't even need the code that's what I've been trying to tell everyone. It's
there's a direct link now.
So you don't even need the code if you hit the direct link, guys.
For real.
And you know what? I joined the league and won it, and I missed game 1. It can be done, so don't be deterred.
The way Drift just put that, he's the slickest guy, bro.
I just wanted to give actual experience of it being possible, innit?
Thanks for your experience, then, Drew.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Get out of here, man.
No,
And you know what? I remember around Christmas, Matt thought I weren't going to do it as well.
Please! Please! No!
Yes, he did.
Zabiri says, Driffy, that's the match still. I think the league can do without Arteta and Arsenal thoughts.
Oh, what about them getting relegated? No, do you know what? All jokes aside, I always want my rivals in the league.
I don't care about Arteta. I really don't. I really don't care. I need Arsenal.
I always want them in the league. Like, what would the Premier League be without Arsenal and Man United? Let's be honest.
100%. Like all the big teams, it sounds silly. Even though we want them to not do well, we need them in there because you're only as good as to a degree as your competition, as some people would say.
But if Arsenal are bad enough to get relegated, they're not our competition.
Well, I just need them to be in there so I can banter them, but I need them to like not fall away so they can't see the banter. I need them to be at the bottom so when the
if
banter
they finish 16th every season for the next 5 years, that would be perfect for me.
Yeah. Because if they go into the Championship, they'll win something.
Yeah,
because they'll come back, they'll win the league to come back up. So do we really want Arsenal to win anything? No. So I'd rather they were just in that mid-table mediocrity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hear them.
Oh, but if they went down and didn't come back, oh shit.
Oh snap. You mean they never made it back up again? Wow.
Oh my god.
Sinking.
No, that would be a sad day if I saw Arsenal in the Championship on a regular basis.
You know, sad day for me, bro. I'd love that. I would love it. Love it. All the Arsenal fans, all my friends that give me stick over the years, I would drive to every one of their houses every weekend, bro. For how many games in the Championship? 46 weeks of driving, bro.
Air mileage.
46 weeks.
Spasms, car strains.
I would love it.
Do you know what? Is it still 1-0 to Brentford, by the way?
I believe so, yeah.
Must be half time, baby.
Remember John Kerry? Was it in Ace
That's
Ventura?
Willock playing for Newcastle now, isn't it? When he sees the score. Oh boy. But enough love, people. Until next time, stay safe. Well, until tomorrow. Watch along and the game post-match review as well. So until tomorrow, people, stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish and we're out. Take care.
Peace.